Oh, yes it did. Okay, good. Oh, shoot. It's on. It's on. It's on. I'm not. Where's my freaking... Damn it.
The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
To listen to Trash Talking Radio, Tuesday 7 to 10. It's the best around. If you want to know and love wrestling, you will listen to Trash Talking Radio, Tuesday 7 to 10. Yo, you want to get hardcore, you want to get extreme, this is the Sandman, and we're on TrashTalkingRadio.com. Woo, listen, working man, feel good. I'll tell my people, all my listeners, don't you dare miss this when they're going to be falling, climb the wall. It's JimmyBarrier.com. Matt Body get there. Start early, brother, and stay late. Love you guys.
If I can tell you anything that you need to know, you need to tune in. 7 to 10 to Trash Talking Radio. Ultimate Warrior Feel the Power.
David Phelps, Celebrity Boxing. Don't miss Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday night, 7 to 10.
Listen up, this is the...
We've been together since way back when. This year's gonna be a winner again. We are still the one with something new. Still the one that's gonna see you through. You're still having fun and you're still the one.
I listen to TrashTalkingRadio.com every Tuesday night. It's my favorite host, my trash.
Well, that would be me, wouldn't it? Huh. Uh-oh. We
It
don't
was
have
in
any-
her dreams.
There's nothing in our background. We don't have a background.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute.
Did you forget to pay your light bill?
Yeah. I'll put it back. I'll put that. There we go. Hey, we got a background. All right. I forgot to change the background. I knew there was something I forgot to do. Rats. All right. Anyway. So, welcome to the show. It is Trash Talking Radio. It is Tuesday night. It is the best night of the week. And let's check our stuff out and make sure everything's running the way it's supposed to. Oh boy, this is the new Facebook. I got to figure this out. This damn new Facebook, really, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. All right, there's us. Okay, good. That's where we are
doing what we are supposed to be doing.
We are where we're supposed to be. Uh-oh, what do I do though? I don't have to pin this one. What am I trying to pin it for? Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, there I am. I can hear, okay, I hear us talking, so that means it must be running. Uh-oh, how do I turn, oh, there's the volume. The volume's down at the bottom now. So they switched that on me. All right, that's good. That's, let's see here. Let's go to Twitter, make sure everything's running. And as we go to Twitter, we see, let's go to Twitch, because, Twitch is running, good. That's, I like the signs of that. Why is I should have a live on there. There's the live. Okay, good. And we're live on YouTube. And boom, come on. Our Twitter's not working. What's going on with our Twitter? Hey, Twitter, we're here. Come on, you can do it. I have faith in you. Huh. Well, that's a surprise. Twitter has never not worked. Oh, wait, I just did it again. There it is. Nope, that's not it. It was working. There we are. All right, there we go. And everything seems to be working. Well, I think, I forgot to change the It still says trash talking radio. I got to remember to change that. I did change it once. I don't know why it changed back. So, all right. Everything appears to be working. So, we're off and running. All right. First piece of news is I interviewed with Livid. Livid is a company that wants new broadcasters, or not brand new. Well, they would take brand new, but they want...
They're looking for different.
Yes. Well, yeah, I guess. Or something like what we're doing, actually, is probably what they want.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, but they want to broadcast 5 days a week,
Oh, yeah.
which means I'd have to...
You'd have to go it alone.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, except that I have a problem with that I'm going to have to commit to 5 days a week.
And that'd be just like having a full-time
Yeah,
job.
well, a part-time, full-time job.
Yeah, there we go.
I could do it, and but that could limit when I have auditions or things like that. That could be a problem. So that's the thing I'm thinking about. But I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking I'm going to have to do it because it'll give us more exposure for the show and a new place to broadcast. And the other, the new place would be more open to things that we're doing. And plus, I talked to Nietzsche about doing his hero segment
Right,
on this show.
right.
And I also told him about the Livid thing too, because, I'm trying to come up with new ideas because I don't want to do the same show every day. And I thought, well, maybe I could do a pro wrestling show one day, or maybe I could do, there's different things that I could do. And then I thought, well, what if I just took the first show and I asked them what they want to see? Because we could do a news show every day if we wanted to do a news show, because there's news every day. Sometimes there's less news than others.
Right.
And like today, the news was really kind of boring. So, I got to give it some thought. And I didn't get the contract from him yet, but he said he's going to send it over. But this is a contracted job. This is a real contracted job, not just maybe if you do good, we'll give you something type job. It's a contracted job. And something to think about. Because I'd like to get this audience excited about the show. And I don't know. I'm going to give it some thought, and I will definitely keep everyone posted. I think there's some good merits to wanting to do that, wanting to do a show every day. Because I could be more legit, if you will. I mean, there's some guys like, I think Brimstone's doing a couple times a week.
Okay.
And I said I wanted more exposure, so here's a way I could get more exposure without investing a lot of energy into it, because they'll do the promotion stuff. So, I stopped doing press releases a long time ago because it just didn't seem to make a big difference. But I think I needed a new platform. So anyway, that's something that, keep yourself posted. I'll be talking about this more as we get something solidified with them. And if it happens, I'll run with it. I'll take it to the next step. I mean, between the different things I do, there's got to be something that will appeal to the audience. Speaking of which,
Yeah.
you got to see the new video that I just did,
Yes, I did.
and that is sent off to the media people, and I hope to hear back in the next couple days. It's a 45-minute video on the most interesting subject I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Me.
Of course.
Now, you got to admit, though, that video showed a different side of me that people don't know. In
Very
fact,
true.
you probably didn't know a lot of that stuff.
About half of it.
Okay, so you know,
I mean, you talked about like when you were growing up, but you never got that in depth.
and I had to cut a lot of stuff out because I could have gone forever on just my childhood on up to where we are today. I cut out a lot of stuff. I cut out the stuff about, I talked about how my brother abused me, but I didn't really talk about some of the more off the wall stuff that happened. I tried to keep it streamlined because they wanted. The title is Rags to Riches, and it basically talks about where I came from nothing and built my empire. I don't want to call it an empire, but built my life to a fairly successful life, I think. So, if they liked it, I think you caught one misspelling. Did you see any others? I tried to correct. There's a couple graphics I changed and it didn't make any difference, and I thought that it did. I thought when I played it back it did, but when I played it back,
I think there was one spot that I saw that you forgot the punctuation at the end, but who uses punctuation now anyway?
You don't use it in things like this.
No.
I mean, but anyway, it's. I like to think that it was entertaining and informative because it was really meant to inspire people. And do you feel that that'll inspire people?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I know what you were getting at, because I've known you for almost 20 years. And I can tell you that everything that you said in that video, it is inspiring because it's stuff that you have said to me over the time that we've known each other, and look how different my life is.
Well, I don't really know. How different is your life?
I'm not as negative as I used to be.
You just were negative there. You said not.
I said, as I used to be.
You should have said, I'm more positive. I'm not as negative. No, I mean, but the thing is that the goal of the program is to inspire people who think they had it really bad. But I really didn't even get into my cousin dying. I didn't get into my grandfather. I didn't get into the fact that the house that we moved into was functioning when we moved into it, but when we left it, it was falling apart. I didn't even get into all that stuff. That stuff was that was really sad, and I didn't get into how much my dad's death affected the relationships between my family members. So, I just basically focused on what was around me, and because I really don't know that they wanted 45 minutes, and that, like I said, I cut it down because it was longer than that. So I just I'm glad it's over. It took me a long time to edit that thing too, because the first program I used, it was a new program that I've never used before. It was called Open Shot, and the program was really, really good, and it did a lot of complex things, and I liked what it did, and I was really excited about it. But something about it, I either saved too many files to it or something. It locked it up once, and then every time I tried to reopen it, it just kicked it out. It wouldn't let me get started again. I even uninstalled it and reinstalled it.
Wow.
It just would not. That's why my frustration was very, very high as Saturday.
Yeah, because I remember messaging you, and you're just like, everything's going wrong, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Everything went wrong when I had to start over after hours and hours of learning that new program. Because that new program was really, really good, except when it crashed, it wouldn't let me even redo it. So I had to start over from ground zero. So I did it on the program that I use for for our intro and for Nietzsche's stuff and all that stuff. I really learned how to use that program to its pretty complex, and I'm sure there's a lot more I can learn, but the complexity that it can be used for. So, Trish, you didn't meet him until the show? No, we didn't. She actually, let's talk about that. She was my maid. That's why
Trash is me.
I ran the show. I had two co-hosts when the show started in July of 2003, and they, J.R. Manitoba and Doc Daniels were my co-hosts, and eventually I let them go because things were getting kind of, I forget the reason why, but there was some. Oh, JR was a. I like JR a lot, but he was a liability to me because
No filter?
he had no filter, and at that time I was trying to get into different promotions, and he was part of Rob Noxious's camp, and I had to split from him, even though he was the one guy that saved my life from being attacked by that idiot. And so, not Rob Noxious, he's not the idiot, the other guy, the guy who I didn't mention. And then I let go the other guy because he wanted to read the results of WXW every week, and that was his big contribution. And people just really don't care what the results of something are. You know, when I watch wrestling, I can't tell you from Monday Night Raw last night who won what, because I didn't pay that close attention. I watched the wrestling match, and generally it doesn't really matter who wins and loses to me. But anyway, that's what happened. But anyway, that's, you know, basically.
So, yeah, I mean, I come up, I was starting to clean your house for you, and then you had to go out of town on business and needed somebody to run the equipment.
Right.
And so,
just because of Rebel and crew were here,
Yep.
and I needed somebody to keep an eye on them because I didn't really trust them that much. Because I was at war with
right.
most of them, and I figured that Rebel would be the guy that would make sure that everything was he wouldn't allow things to be
Right.
You know, that was a weird time in my life, and I don't really want to get back into it, but it was really bizarre.
So yeah, that's, I just kept coming up, and I would make little comments while being behind the scenes, and you're like, if you're going to keep talking, I'm throwing a mic on you.
Yeah, and I did so. But anyway, okay, so where was I going? Oh, the video. So the video, I really liked the outcome of the video, and as soon as I'm told whether they're going to use it or not, I'll let people know that, and because I can't really let it release before that.
Right.
So it'll be interesting, because if you want to know about where I came from, that'll tell you where. When I say I came from a very rough background, people think that people see me now and say, "Oh, you have everything."
They don't see rough as the way you see rough. Their opinion of rough is, both parents worked, you might have had to struggle a little bit, but not to the extent that you did.
Yeah, because people didn't have what I didn't have. People had what I didn't have, and not that I missed it, because you don't miss it if you never had it.
Right.
And once I realized all the things that were going on, it made a difference. So I'm happy that I got done with it, and I'm really proud of it too, because I think if I were to have to do it again, I could do it a lot quicker now that I figured all the tricks and the trials and tribulations that I had to go through to figure it all out. But next Nietzsche video is going to even be better, because I got it down. And there's a few things I didn't do that I wanted to do. I wanted to put Barking Rats video into it, but I don't have any Barking Rats video on DVD yet. I've got it on VHS, and I wanted to put some of Ken and I singing, playing, but I didn't, because I just got to the point where I was in a time crunch. I wanted to finish it last night, because I promised them it would be done Sunday.
Oops.
And it wasn't done Sunday. It wasn't done Monday it was done Tuesday at 2 a.m. So, and then it wasn't done because I didn't catch that one thing that you said. Anyway, on.
Sorry, I pointed it out.
No, I need to know. See, the thing is, I watched it over and over again, and somehow I missed that. I missed another misspelling or another word that was in the wrong place, and I changed it. So I thought I got them all. And believe me, I was watching it. I am so tired of that. I'm tired of me. I don't want to know anything else about me. So there may be a part 2, though.
Oh boy.
Hey, I got to tell you, when it came to, I got the right reaction out of you when it came to Pam. And, I mean, I broke down and cried on camera. And it knocked you out.
I do it every time we talk about her.
Yeah, but I hope that because of how I did the video, if you noticed, when I talked about her the first time, it was us. Everything, all the pictures were us. When I talked about it the second time, it was just her.
Right.
When I talked about it the third time, it was just her. So, yeah, there was a method to my madness because I changed it in midstream and decided it had to be that way. So, anyway, it's a true story, and it's pretty. I hope it's a motivating story. I hope that people get motivated because it shows that if you have absolutely nothing and you persevere, you can get more than nothing. So, enough of that. So, then what else do I want to talk about? Okay, I talked about Livid, talked about the video. What else? I guess we could talk about, might as well do this now, because I was teasing you that there was a critter outside my window, and now if you look in the picture, you probably can't see anything, because I look at that and I say, where's Waldo at? And he's not, you can't tell him.
No.
Okay, well now we'll do the next picture. Do you see him yet?
No.
Okay, let's go to the next picture.
I don't have my glasses on either.
Here you go.
I have them right here.
Okay, just tell me when you see him. Ready?
Oh.
He was in between my fence and my house.
Oh, he's so beautiful. Oh.
Wait a minute, can they see it? Okay, if you look right, wait, let me get rid of us. There he is.
Oh.
And he was just laying there. Now this is through my screen. Now I tried to take my screen out and he took off. But the next one, there he is.
Oh, is he so beautiful?
He's a young'un too.
Yeah.
There he is. There he is.
Oh.
See, I don't know why I don't see him in the earlier ones because he was there. He was somewhere in there. He must have been under these leaves or something.
Well, that's why he's camouflaged.
Yeah, well, it shows his camouflage because I really couldn't see him, and I just happened to glance. I looked out I was in the bathroom getting ready to take a shower, and I looked out the window. I said, "Oh wow, there's a deer out there," and I could barely see him. And then I grabbed my camera and I tried to see him as best I could, and then he heard me when I opened the window.
Oh.
And Bambi decided to leave then.
Oh.
But he's in between my garage and my fence.
Yeah.
He's in between my fence and my house. I have a little gap in there where the fence goes around there.
Because of the pool.
Because of the sunroom. And if I were to do that fence again, I would bring it straight across.
Okay.
But, that's who I found today.
Oh.
Or was that? Yeah, that was
That was you said
today.
it was
Yeah,
today.
yeah, that was today.
Oh,
So that was really cool.
Beautiful.
I was happy about it because, I love to see. I live out in the middle of nowhere. It's fun. That's my favorite picture because you can see his head.
Yeah. He's turned around like, hey, kiss my rear end, Mike.
What are you spying on me for?
I actually saw one when I was going to work this morning. It was way out in the field. And, I got to work about 7 o'clock. And I was getting there and I looked and I was like, wow. And it used to be they were there, quite often. And now it's like we really have to be careful because with all the social distancing and people working remotely, that, they're getting more comfortable of us not being there, so they're starting to come back around.
Right.
And the same with them stupid Canadian geese, they want us to just be careful when we're coming
You're a
in.
racist.
No, I'm
What
not.
are you going against Canadian geese? What about American geese?
I don't like animals that attack me.
I don't know. That's not what you said
What?
when you had a boyfriend.
You just better watch yourself, mister.
So anyway, that was my surprise from today.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I
Don't let Jen see him.
yeah, she would have got rid of him for me. All right. So anyway, I will start this today. You like Jeopardy, right?
Yeah.
Jeopardy said he wants Betty White to be the successor. Now you think about how old is he? 79, okay? And how old is she? She's like in her 90s now, right?
Yeah. The problem with that is, okay, Betty White is good.
Okay.
Okay, she's a well-known actress. You know, she probably could do it. But,
She's pretty smart too.
yeah, but people are going to associate Jeopardy with him.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard for Betty to replace that.
Who is able to replace that?
Nobody.
Okay, so what do? Just retire the show?
They're going to try it. They're going to do like they did. Like, I didn't think at first Drew Carey could replace Bob Barker on The Price is Right.
Right.
Okay?
Another one that's in their 90s.
They've modernized it. You know, it still
By the
has
way,
some of the same
just out
things.
of curiosity.
Yes, I have Bob on the Deadpool.
No, I'm thinking, do I have Alex Trebek?
I think one of us does.
I think I do.
But it's, you know, to me, having Drew Carey as the host of The Price is Right, it's not the same. You know, I realize it's, you know, some things are different, but, you know, when you're stuck in your ways, it's hard to change.
That's you, stuck in your ways for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see who has Mr. Trebek. Yep. I mean, I'm sorry.
Nietzsche says I have an echo.
Uh-oh. All right, let me take a look and see.
Yeah, because I think you stole him from me.
I didn't steal him.
Yes, you did.
Let's see, I'm gonna figure out what the echo is. Try to put it down this way. Okay, let me see. I've only got this one and that one. So one of these two gotta be the echo. I'm thinking if I cut this out. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure that this. I think this is the one I need. This one is the one I don't need.
Oh, I don't even have Bob Barker this year. I didn't pick him.
Oh, you lost him. Check 1, 2.
He's not allowed to die on me this year.
Do we have an echo now? That's the question. Because I think.
He better not die this year, or I'm going to be very upset.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear? Wait, it says Trish has an echo.
Yeah,
What about
that's what
me?
I said.
Oh, it's not both of us? Huh. Okay. I got all the effects turned down. I don't know how you would have an echo and I don't.
I'm just that good.
All right. I gotta check to see if we have audio from.
Oh, Ashley has Bob Barker. That's
Yeah,
why I
see
don't
that,
have him.
Yes.
But see, she's not here, so it don't count.
Well, we could divide them up like we were talking about.
Yeah. 2, 4, 6,
Should be
8,
10.
10. Yeah. See if that one. Yeah.
Is Willie Nelson the one that died?
No.
Okay.
No, that
No,
was
these guys
Charlie
died,
Daniels.
No, he's died yet. Okay.
Nope. Because we've been watching.
Well, why don't we? Okay. I don't want to give you first try though. I don't want you to get that one. I should say that you can't pick him.
Why? I've had him before.
That's why you can't pick him again. All right, go ahead. Pick him.
I'll take
I
him.
know you would. It's just the kind of girl you are. All right, so that one's yours now. I'm gonna pick.
I was going to say, we could do like you do the second one, I'll take the third one.
No, that's that way you're gonna win.
No, not necessarily.
No, I'm taking. All right, pick one.
Give me Dick Van Dyke.
Notice I always give you first shot.
Ladies before gentlemen, that's the way it should be.
Then it should not be you. You're far from a lady, and I'm far from a gentleman. So
I'd say age before beauty, but
I'd still win. I'd still win if it was age before beauty or beauty before age.
yeah, in your dreams.
Let's see. Who am I going to
You
pick?
need to take the ones out that we've already gone through.
No, we're going straight down the road. Oh, we aren't going straight down. You are. I guess I'm going to take this one. I don't know if
rat.
she's sick or not. I just am picking her. Go ahead. So I'll put an X next to the ones that we chose. This
Okay.
one, this one. Dick Van Dyke we picked. I picked Willie, and I picked Loretta. Okay.
Give me Pat Sajak.
You want the game show hosts.
Yep.
See?
Well, all but Alex Trebek.
Let's see. Sounds fine now. Who was your first ever interview? I might be able to tell you. Let me think about it. While I'm picking these, let me think about it. So that's an X there. Guess I'm going to pick Bill. Want the cause. Okay.
I'm going to go, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to go Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked him. He's too young.
I know.
I'm gonna
That's why I
pick
said I like him.
Sandusky. Oh, I need to put your Kevin Hart in. Oh. Take it.
So we're down between Madonna and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go Madonna because I think Trump's going to get reelected.
Well, that doesn't mean he can't be killed or can't die.
I don't want Madonna to die either.
I don't think. I personally wonder if shoot, didn't do that. Do it backwards. Okay. Copy and paste. Okay, so we got it. All right, we got all our listings now, and I guess I'll hit this one to make it go up higher. Delete rows. There we go. There we go. All right. Sorry. She's not with us anymore.
Nope, I haven't even really talked to her lately.
No. She loses. Should I make it red? No, more red. Okay, she's out. Okay, now let's go back to Nietzsche's question. Let me look at the, if I have it, I might be able to tell you. It may be, let's see here. I don't know if I loaded the pages or not on here. If I loaded them, I can tell you. Let's see. Okay, there it is. Now, it would be in here. 2003. I do have it. Okay. Let's see who the first one was. Because I really don't know. Alright. Oh, our first show was July 8th. I guess we didn't have any that first one. I had Johnny Graham and Tiffany Monroe as the first two guests on
Wow.
that show. And that was when I had a 2-hour show back then. So I didn't have any names on the show till let's see, Rockin' Rebel I had on August 26th. He was on my birthday show. Ken Timms was the first person I had that was a name. Yeah, that was, oh wow, that was when he was on his deathbed too.
Oh.
He was being interviewed and he had a ventilator. I didn't know this till after the show. but he had a ventilator, and he was. You could hear him take I didn't recognize that he was actually taking a breath, but he would be interviewing, and then he'd be like. I didn't realize that he was doing.
Right.
But he was my first name, and then the second name was probably. I had Chris Hamrick, which is not a big name, and Gabe Sapolsky, which was my entrance into Ring of Honor, and then I want to say it was one of the Valiants. Yeah, here it is, Johnny Valiant. And that was when I met him.
Cool.
So I met him. Wait a minute, it says Johnny V.
Yeah. Johnny
It
Valiant.
was Johnny Valiant. Yeah, that was when I first met him.
Because then the next week it looks like you had Jimmy.
I had Jimmy because I figured if I can get Johnny, I can get Jimmy. Mm-hmm. And it was true. And I was happy about that. There we had Trent Acid there. And Jasmine St. Clair and the Blue Meanie.
Wow.
I didn't remember him coming on. Huh. All right. Well, yeah. Dusty Wolf was a big name. Well, I mean, it was a name. This is the first 6 months, so.
And that was before I started.
Scott Chung from Tough Enough 3. D'Lo Brown, Road Warrior Animal. Mm-hmm. That was all in the first 6 months. Crash Holly died then.
Yeah, because I think I started with you in December.
Jimmy Valiant again. April Hunter. Of course, she's not what he's talking about. He's talking big name.
Yeah.
Rockin' Rebel's on a lot. Mikey Ripwreck.
Wait a minute.
Ole Anderson was.
Wait a minute. Scroll back down a minute. See, that says show lineup for 12/9.
Yeah.
That I thought it was the 3rd
No.
that I did. Oh, so okay, so it was December 9th was
Yeah.
when I started. Okay.
And Ole Anderson. And Nikolai Volkov.
Yeah, these
And
are
that
the
was
ones
just
I remember.
Honky Tonk Man. Well, I actually was really rocking back in 2003. I had some pretty big names in 2003, considering that was my first move into the business. So I'm happy about that. That's reminiscing. I like that. So there you go. All right. So now we know. Okay, Alex Trebek. I forgot to. Okay, so.
No, Nietzsche. It was Johnny Graham and Tiffany Monroe.
Well, if he's talking about first big
but if
guest,
you're talking first big names,
Johnny
it
Graham
was
or
Johnny.
Johnny, what's his face?
Valiant.
Johnny Valiant was first, and then Jimmy Valiant. Those were the first two big names that I had, and then from there it started rolling because I really started seeing names then. But yeah, those were the days I really wanted to make a mark. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know of anybody that had the amount of names that I got that quickly. So, all right, back to this. So it says Alex Trebek has chosen his unlikely successor, Betty White. I would watch that if Betty White were the person that was doing it. And it says last year the 79-year-old host made the somber announcement that he was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and voiced that no official retirement plans. He's joked that in the event that he does step down, he wants Betty White, who's 98, to replace him. So,
Well, you know who Betty White was married to, right?
John Black, Jack Black.
No. Alan Ludden.
I knew that, but it sounded funnier if I said Jack.
Yeah,
Black.
I know. Because I watch a lot of the older game shows that Alan was host of. And it's funny because definitely Password, when you see him hosting and she's playing, and it's like, wow.
See that there's some favoritism done there. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't have happened. Should have been a law against it.
Nietzsche wants to know who your favorite guest was.
I don't know that I could pick one. Could you pick one?
For you?
For anybody. For either of us.
I mean, of course, Bret Hart.
That's one that.
But definitely Jimmy Valiant.
Hulk Hogan still, even though
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan, the fact that he gave us time twice,
Yes.
that is big in my book, and that made me respect him and made me like him a lot.
And you had DiBiase on too, which was good.
Yeah, I to pick one, I would guess Bret Hart would probably be the one because he gave us so much time in one interview.
Yeah, considering he said he was only going to do 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I like it when somebody says 15 and doesn't do 15, they do, longer, which was most of the people. I liked a lot of the interviews I did because, Dusty Rhodes was another one that was fun, but we didn't get enough time with him. And I never really was able to get him back on the show because he signed with WWE then. So that was kind of sad. I would have liked to have had more time with him. There's so many. I would be really hard-pressed to give one because there were so many people that gave us time on the show, and I enjoyed all of them.
Yeah.
Even the ones that, the ones like the ones that were harder to get were really the cool ones. Like Ultimate Warrior, even though I couldn't understand what he was saying because he was trying to stay in character a lot of the time, I liked the fact that we got him. No one else that I know of has gotten him. So I don't, I go around thinking we were the only ones, and I enjoyed being the only one that could do it.
Think about Snuka.
Snuka was a really tough one because it took me 2 years to get his interview because his in the locker room he'd say, yeah, I'll do it, and then his wife would stop me. So I finally had a talk with his wife and got her to agree to do the interview, and that was okay. She was just trying to protect him because there was a lot to protect for. First off, he didn't write any English and didn't speak a lot of English, so
But see, that's the thing. You made the reputation where you protected a lot of the guys. If they said, we can't talk about this, you didn't.
Right.
So you gained their respect, which I think is very admirable. And that's how you got some of the interviews that normally you wouldn't get.
Right. And it's funny because Nietzsche put in there, Mike's mom never believed him.
Exactly.
And that's...
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the documentary will explain that a lot more, I think. I got to make sure that my family doesn't see the documentary because I will burn what's left of that bridge. That if I do that, and there will be no reconciliation.
Well, you don't have to worry about your brother seeing it.
Oh, yeah, I really ripped on him pretty bad. I didn't rip on my sister, though. She really didn't play a part of my life because she was so much younger than me. So, she was good to me up until 2000. I don't know what happened, but something happened that I can't explain. So, anyway, enough of that. It was, but anyway, the interviews that we did were definitely entertaining to me. And if I didn't care if anybody else was entertained. I was only thinking about my own entertainment. Because I felt that if I was entertained, chances are they were entertained because they were watching it because of what I had accomplished so far. So they knew what they were in for, and we used to have a good listenership back then. For some reason the format change didn't agree with them, or a lot of them, and it's the way it is. I just I don't regret it because at this point I don't want to turn back. I'll interview the people if there's something to interview about, but there aren't many people that I haven't interviewed that I'd like to interview that would get me to do it. So, as far as I'm concerned, that was another chapter of my life, and I had decided to try to do something different. And I don't know of anybody that's doing what we're doing now. I'm sure there's people doing it, but
Oh yeah.
I don't know any of them. And as usual, I don't listen to other people's shows.
And a lot of it probably now is what's in, like if they're doing it on wrestling, it's today's independence. Whereas,
Nobody would do the independents back when I started.
Right.
Everybody said WWE, and I couldn't get on the websites. They wouldn't put me on because I didn't do WWE, and I only did I did some WCW and ECW and all independents because I wouldn't do WWE. I wouldn't get coverage.
right. Oh, you're back again.
But that's the way it is, and I don't regret it, and I enjoyed it while I, Hey, Nietzsche, I have something for you. I want to take you against Trish
No.
in a game show.
No.
I told you about this game show, and you said you did watch the show, so I don't want to do it. And I think that would be a fun game show. So, if you're interested in that, we could do the game show. But I spent some time putting it together, and I had you guys in mind. So, if you want to do it, let me know. And if you don't want to do it, that's good too. The next thing, the Friends are going to have a reunion apparently.
Oh wow.
And they're just in time because I did their song for them. I'll tell you more about that later. I'll try to remember to do it. So, there's going to be a Friends reunion coming up apparently. It's hard to see some of your actual friends this year, but Dave Schwimmer has some news that might cheer you up. The Friends reunion could start filming next month. Did I tell you that the Top Gear program that I used to watch, Joey was the host of the British Top Gear for a while, for 2 seasons, I think. He was actually pretty good. I was really surprised. It was pretty cool. He actually came off like a pretty funny guy too. So I liked it. But anyway, they're going to do some kind of reunion. It says here the special, which has been rumored and anticipated by Friends, was confirmed by HBO Max in February. HBO Max currently owns CNN's parent company. Oh, gee, I wonder what news company reported this. Oh, look at that. It's CNN. So, according to Schwimmer, the plans are still afoot to bring the show to our screens. Now, we talked about this a while ago, though. They were going to bring it. I think what they ended up doing was the 25th reunion. They ran some of the shows in the theater, I think. And that's what I thought was a reunion. I thought they were going to do that. I guess they're going to do a little bit more than that. So that's interesting. So that I guess because the reunion or the 25th anniversary went so well, they're now going to do the reunion because they saw that there's money in it. But actually, the only one in the news now is her. What's her name? I can't remember. Her
Is
name.
that Jennifer?
Jennifer, yeah, but what's her real name? Yeah, Jennifer Aniston. She is the godchild or godparent of Katy Perry's daughter.
Oh wow.
Or to be.
Yeah, she's Brad Pitt's ex.
Well,
What?
I heard an interview today on Stern, and he was interviewing her,
Oh, wow.
Katy Perry, and they mentioned that Aniston was going to be the godparent or something like that. So, yeah, I don't usually talk about other radio shows, but I'll talk about Stern any day because Stern's the man. So, oh yes, I know you like him too. Last week, do you remember we talked about having boats to watch movies?
Yes.
Okay, here's one. How about Live Nation concerts are coming to Citizens Bank parking lot?
What?
So they're actually going to have concerts in the parking lot, like that. Who was the Garth? No, who was it?
Yeah, it was Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. Well, they're going to do that on August 16th in Philly, and they're calling it the Live.
Hush.
Stop. I know. You want over here. She's not going to let you over because she doesn't like you.
That's not true.
Tell her. Tell her. Go ahead.
Any
tell
other
her.
time he'll go behind me.
Come here. Come on. Get over here. There you go. Okay. So they're going to have these concerts, and they're going to have live bands and comedians playing at the Citizens Bank parking lot. And I think it'll be pretty darn cool. So, yeah, it's something different.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be cool because I mean people are wanting to get out and they want to do something. If you're in your car, that's 6 foot,
Yep.
you know. And since the fans, baseball fans, aren't allowed inside the ballpark during Phillies games this season or this summer, social distancing will have carloads of music and comedy fans. That would be all right, you know. At least you'll be able to do something a little bit more than sit at home and watch TV all the time. So, I thought that was exciting, and I don't know if this has the list of bands, but if it doesn't, I have that. Let me see here. I see you got tired of me already.
Of course.
He's not the first one. Many people have been tired of me. Let me take a look here. All right, let's see. It says other live-in, drive-in highlights include Baltimore Jam Band, Pigeons playing ping pong on August 21st, Asbury Park Folk Pop Band, and the Front Bottoms on August 23rd, Philly Bred Alt Pop Band Mount Joy on August 25th.
Uncle Sampan's not on there.
We don't play it at places like that. It's too small.
Ah.
We don't. We want to be in the cars and listen to the. I don't know any of those bands, so I wouldn't be all excited about that.
Well, if they're in the cars, they should wear their new.
Yeah. Yeah. I put it to. I put it on the stand so that when I drive next time, I'll grab it. Anyway, so there we go. Why don't they have a thing so I can just post this? Oh well, don't matter. All right, so that's Live Nation. So they got some concerts coming. I think if it works out, they'll get some bigger bands than that, because I don't think those are very big bands. There's my. What do they do now? That would be good too. I could use that too. All right, good. All right, so that's all I have left in this. Okay. This was interesting. So, the American Museum of Natural History is going to remove the Teddy Roosevelt statue.
Oh man.
Well, Teddy Roosevelt was, for lack of a better word, a racist. Announced Sunday, following incidents across the U.S. in which the statues of Confederate generals and leaders. Come here. Come here. You. Stop voicing your opinion. We don't care. It says here that in San Francisco, it says here statues of Confederate generals and leaders and other historical figures linked to slavery and dispossession of indigenous Americans have been forcibly removed or destroyed. He was one of those people. Along with that, a statue of Ulysses S. Grant was among the monuments pulled down in Golden State Park in San Francisco. Grant led Union armies to victory in the Civil War as the president fought the Ku Klux Klan, but before defeating the slave-owning Confederacy, he married into a slave-owning family and briefly owned a slave himself. Roosevelt occupied the White House between 1901 and 1909, and he was a keen outdoorsman and hunter. He helped the museum collection. On Sunday, let's see here. I'm trying to figure out. So I guess it's because, oh, here it is. The statue at the Museum of Central Park in New York shows Roosevelt, the 26th president on horseback and flanked by an African American and a Native American. So it's been apparently a lot of people are really upset by it. So that's it. You know, there's a lot of things that I can't really make an opinion on this because I'm neither an African American nor I'm partially a Native American, but this much.
But
so I
the
can't
thing
really,
is, you know, this stuff is history.
But the thing is, we shouldn't be celebrating that and the people that were part of that. We need to celebrate the unity of the people that are alive today.
Yes.
It's still going to be part of America because it's part of our history, but we need to move forward. And we all know what happened, and it just, there's really not, the best thing to do is to not wipe out the history, but wipe out the celebrating of the history, because it's not, you know, it's not really, us being white people, we're never going to really understand what it's like to live under those things. So yeah, it's really strangely, you know, it's things that, like, I don't care about the Redskins, but I'm partially Indian, but I'm not enough of an Indian to really care what the name of that football team is. But if somebody is upset by it, okay, maybe we got to rethink it. Because if one person's upset about it, then many people are probably upset about it. And it's things that we don't think about because it doesn't affect us. It doesn't affect us if it's gone, too. Really, it doesn't.
Well, like Amy Sue said, you can't forget it, you know, or it is definitely repeated, but just put the silly things in storage.
Do we need it? I mean, do we?
We really, I mean, it's there. It's part of history. You know, I wouldn't
History
say
doesn't
deface it. If you don't like it, then don't look at it.
Is that like if I don't like a dog that barks, don't look at him?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you can't get away from that. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, it's there. It was important enough.
But is it really? Does it really affect you as an individual? Do you really need the U.S. The Ulysses Grant statue? Do you really need these are things you won't even see on a regular basis?
That is true. Now, there are some people that
if they said
do that.
they said take away the Kit Kat bar costume out of that guy at Hershey Park, I'd have a problem with that because it's part of my history.
I mean,
No,
it's one thing
it's
that
the Nutter Butter guy. Then I would.
if
the Reese's Peanut Butter guy.
yeah, you
Yes.
can't take away that.
Well,
I
Reese's
mean,
Pieces.
I understand that people that do that kind of thing, like for the homeschooling, and they can associate a statue with teaching history. Okay,
It's a
I get
statue.
it. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, if you don't want to see it, then don't go.
No, it's more than that, though. You won't see these things, and it wouldn't affect you. But what if it was about suffrage?
Suffrage?
You don't know what suffrage is?
No.
Women's rights.
Oh!
What if it was? We're going to wipe out everything that has to do with women's rights because men are offended.
Men usually are offended because women are better.
Better at what, though?
I'll never tell. Michael!
What? What? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say anything.
You didn't have to.
Anyway, there are things that we all have an attachment to, or just the opposite. Things that offend us or things that upset us. We're not all offended by the same stuff.
True.
And the thing is, as America, we are given the right to speak our minds, and we have the right to speak our minds when it's not a good thing. Now,
I mean, that's where I think it's the 15th Amendment, is that it gives women,
I have no idea what the 15th Amendment
I
is.
think, I'm
Well,
not
tell
sure.
me what amendment you're talking about. Don't just say the 15th. Tell me what it is.
It's the one where men and women are created equal.
Yeah, that was funny. That one's funny. that one amuses me.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
See, he even's amused by it.
You're back again?
What do you want? Come here. Come here.
Back here, come on. Yeah, you want him to jump over me.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop. This is happening every week now.
And it wasn't
You
like
gotta
that
stop.
before.
You gotta stop.
I mean, we are equal. Everybody is equal.
And we all have rights, and the rights for something like the Confederate flag, something like I could care less whether we show the Confederate flag or not. But if someone doesn't like it, I don't care.
Then don't look at it.
No. I think it should be gone because it stands for slavery. It didn't originally stand for slavery.
Not
but
on top of the General Lee.
It didn't originally stand for slavery, but that's what it became. It's like I said before, the swastika was originally a religious symbol, and Hitler took it and made it his. You know, those things happen. To me, it's not really a big deal to get rid of it. It's not that big of a deal for the Confederate flag to go away. My brother used to fly a Confederate flag in his pickup.
Wow.
And to me, I was like, why do you even bother? But there are those people that just have. Well, he was a racist till the day he died. He thought the problem with the country was when Obama took over the country, you know, and he gave Obama, like, what was it, 9 weeks, and he said Obama is the reason the country is falling apart. I'm sorry, Obama is not the reason the country was falling apart at 9 weeks. You know, to me that was ridiculous. So anyway, let's go back to this. This restaurant, would you go eat in here? It's a mask-free zone. They are going to not serve people that are wearing masks. If you hate science but love chili cheese fries, we've got the restaurant for you. The owner of the Apple Bistro in Placerville, California, hates masks so much they banned them.
Wow.
How stupid could you be? No social conditioning, no oxygen deprivation mask, no latex dirty germ spreaders, reads a spectacularly well-informed sign posted outside the restaurant's front door. It says here, Apple Bistro in Placerville, California, refusing to serve customers wearing masks. Do yourself a favor and avoid this place at all costs, according to Abby. I can't imagine that anybody would do this. I can't imagine it being legal.
Yeah.
I thought that was a state mandate that you had to wear a mask going in, and then you had to sit down, and then you could take your mask off once you're seated.
Right, but if you get up to, like, go to the restroom or something, then yes, you had to put it back on.
It says, as you can imagine, the response from sane and rational would-be customers have been less than glowing. The restaurant's Yelp reviews have been shut down entirely, and employees have been quite busy deleting all negative feedback they've received on Facebook. So, to me, I wonder if it shows the Yelp reviews. That'd be awesome if they did. I'm looking here to see if they did. Let's see. Here's the Yelp. Oh, could we have it? Let's see some reviews. Oh, it says unusual activity alert. Got it. All right. Let's see what it says. All right. It says this is 528. Came here in 526 on the way to South Lake Tahoe. Upon entering, was greeted by Jason. First thing I caught was how clean the place and how relaxed the atmosphere. Well, that doesn't say anything about the... That's... Okay, here we are, 7.5. This place was so delicious and the views were amazing. I can guarantee you they're deleting stuff here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. 520, 720. Oh, here we are. 7:20. Here's a review. This is just what, yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. This was from yesterday. A pathetic, sad example of the ignorance in our country. Sure, you have the right to post and do whatever you want. We get to choose where we ship and dine. Where we ship and dine. All right. Here's the kicker. How long do you think it will take the country and California state officials to shut down your business? I feel sorry for the workers and staff who must follow your rules. And imagine how families must feel about the situation. And we're walking. Here's another one from today. I literally could not get food. I walked in and was told to leave because I was wearing a mask. They're so uneducated, they think that it deprives you of oxygen. It does not. There's a sign basically saying, don't social distance, don't wear a mask, and don't wear gloves. I was stunned. A business would actively try to make the community worse. I will never return. Here's another one. Wow, you're never getting my business again. It's been a while, but I'll never return again. Any place that is refusing to serve people wearing a mask deserves to be shut down. What kind of freaking idiots don't understand what a pandemic is? I've had 9 people I know die from the virus, and I find it an insult to their memory. Do it. Give them. I don't have rawhides in there. I should have brought some rawhides down. Says here, you should be ashamed of yourselves, and I'm sorry for your employees. Obviously, you don't care about them and your customers' health. Jeez. Oh, this is funny. Funeral home has a check here. It says I don't know how much, but I guess they're just basically saying, they're giving funeral homes a lot of business.
Wow.
Oh, man. The management must be effing psychotic. They're refusing to service people that wear a mask. I sure as heck wouldn't eat here. That sounds like Amy was there. I sure as heck wouldn't eat here. If the chef and staff aren't wearing masks, they have COVID germs floating around. Oh, man. Wait, here's somebody who's pro.
What?
Let me see. Okay. Craving their desserts, no problem. They're open. However, if you support their business, you could become asymptomatic and kill your husband or wife overnight when they contract it from you at close proximity. Don't forget you killed your parents since they since you're a caring child and dropped off COVID-19 and pastries from his place on the way home without a mask. Might as well include your children on the death list since you're in the same household. Maybe you wouldn't know you gave your family COVID-19 because you woke up alone in hell. But that's okay. You're satisfied with your pie craving. Yum.
Unbelievable.
And it says here, wear a cloth medical mask over your nose and face. Not a thong, a mask, you moron.
Wow.
The sign was horrifying. Oh man, here's a sign that they're actually showing a sign. No social distancing, no oxygen deprivation, no latex dirty germ spreader, not required here. This may not be for you. I can tell you, I wouldn't go to that place. I am afraid to go to places that are actually obeying the rules. So, yeah, it's really hard to imagine why they're doing that. I can't imagine. In this day and age.
Maybe they think if they keep it, do that they'll get more business.
Well, that's in that area that the governor's closing down. I kind of remember an article about that last week. That seems to be one of the areas that he's closing down. So I don't know. I just can't imagine. What in the world? Somehow there's something wrong. I mean, I really think that they're going to end up going under.
Wow.
Because that's ridiculous. I can't believe that anybody would have the guts to do that.
Well, see, they should look at the numbers for the state of Pennsylvania.
We're not we're not anything like that. Our
I
numbers
know.
are only 5% compared to these other ones.
But they're talking about putting us, our county back in the red.
The thing is, if we'd all done the right thing in the beginning, we
Right.
would be out of this by now. But there's always some smart aleck that says, "Oh, I'm not going to do it because this violates my rights."
Yeah, and then you think that, and then this person over here says, well, nobody else is, so I'm not going to do it. Everybody thinks that they're the only one not doing it. Mm-hmm. See, they just need these, that's all.
That's what they're waiting for.
Our new Trash Talking Radio face masks.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody saw it because you're holding it and moving it. And,
I can't see the...
well, it'll take a few seconds for it to show up.
It's pretty cool.
I would say that it's not a bad thing, but you just sit it right up here. This is it. This is it. It goes right there. Now
There we
see it.
go.
So now see, it's up there now. But anyway, I can't believe that there's anybody that would do that, but that's just insane. Now this one you gave me,
Well, I gave you a bunch.
Turnpike. Didn't they just raise them?
Yes.
What is it? Because it's, they don't have any cashiers now, so what reason do they have to do this?
Because they can still get money.
Well, yeah, but it's a 45% increase.
Well, here's the thing, okay? I don't have Easy Pass.
Yeah, dummy.
I know. But I think after this I will get it. But, I only go one exit. I only go one way.
That's not right.
And... and, okay, the first two times... Well, the first time I did this since COVID-19, they didn't bill me for the one. They waited till I did it a second time and then billed me for both at the same time. Okay? Well, if more people are using it, they're going to go for more money. It's like, since they don't have to stop, they're just going to drive through.
Well, I
and then
mean-
when the bill comes later, then it's like, oh,
Well, I understand that because that's the 45% increases for your plate. But if you have an Easy Pass, it's only a 6%.
it's still...
Well, think about it though. The billing, they don't have to bill me. They just take it off my credit card.
Right.
They never have to send me anything. For someone that doesn't have an Easy Pass, they have to actually physically send you a bill.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. And I agree with the difference of the increase because there's no reason not to have an Easy Pass. It don't cost you any
Right.
money. It does cost. They'll set aside money.
I think it's, what, 35?
Last time I must have spent a lot because I think the last time they took 70.
Wow.
And I don't know if that's because I took the went to the shore and all that, but that's when I noticed it.
Wow.
And I don't know if maybe I spent over, between the trip I made a couple weeks before that and this trip, it may have been $40, so maybe I went over. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but I do know that I think my last one was 70. But,
I gotta look.
but it's funny because I think about this. When they used to have cashiers, they had to pay hourly wages for these people.
Right.
Now they don't have to pay. I don't know why they're doing that now. So let's find out what it is. So if you have an Easy Pass, it should tell you. I have the transponder. It is 30.
The Go Pack has an initial balance of 38. Yes, 35 will be available for tolls.
I must have overspent. I must have but I will tell you that when I went, was that what? Yeah, that's when I went. I made a couple wrong turns and had to.
Well, remember, I think you
Or
did
was
that.
with you.
You
Maybe
did
that
that
was
with
with
that. Yeah, with us.
That might be why, because I had a bunch of extra ones when I took the wrong. It wasn't with her. It must have been with you, because I was thinking to myself, how did I do that? That makes
Yep.
sense then, because I made a bunch of extra on and off ramps. So, yeah. Wow, look at this. So it says here, the most common tolls for a vehicle went from 150 to 160 for Easy Pass and 250 to 390 for those on toll by plate. Anybody that's doing toll by plate, that's ridiculous. You'd make up your money right away once you have your
Oh, yeah.
car, you know.
Well, that's why I'm thinking about doing that.
It's worth it. So, I always, ever since I got it, I said to you that I won't go without it anymore. Because
Right.
even if you don't use it on a regular basis, once you need to use it that one time, that's going to
Yep.
save you all kinds of hassle. So, all right.
And really, the only time I would use mine when I'm by myself is just like if I go for my chicken barbecue dinners.
No, if you go to see your daughter out.
Oh, that's true.
West.
Yeah.
So, there's a thing called the Wall of Moms. Have you heard about that?
No.
All right, out in Portland, they've had rioting or protesting on a regular basis. I think they're 50 days in of
Wow.
protesting, and so the cops have been brutal to the protesters. Well, the Wall of Moms are a bunch of moms that decided they aren't going to put up with it anymore. They decided they're going to form a shield, a human shield, called the Wall of Moms in front of the protest outside the federal court Sunday. So as soon as it comes up, we will take a look at it. There you go. There's your Wall of Moms. Hold on.
They're not social
Hold on.
distancing.
Well, they aren't. That's but they have masks on. Here's your Wall of Moms.
Oh, wow.
Moms are here. Leave our kids alone. Federal agents have been deployed to protect the federal property and help law enforcement amid weeks of unrest and racial injustice and calls for police reform. Women have been chanting, "Leave our kids alone," as tear gas was deployed to break up the crowds. I'll tell you what, I'm glad I don't have kids. I don't have to protest for them. I don't want tear gas. But the whole thing is, they are peaceful protesters. At least the mothers are. I don't know about their kids, but the mothers are.
Oh, looking a little fuzzy there,
I
Brian.
hate the commercials. That's a hate the button. I hear you, puppy. I need to go upstairs and grab some of those rawhides because he's going to drive me crazy if this is the way he's going to be all night. So, but yeah, so that's what it's all about. The Wall of Moms
Wow.
out there protecting their kids. So, I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to be a parent. It's tough. Mm-hmm. I mean, because a lot of those kids are troublemakers. There are some peaceful protesters. There are some not peaceful protesters. You know, why did she say "smack me"? What did you?
Because of that obscene gesture that you made. Yeah, that one.
I just have a little cut inside my
The
lip.
bad tooth.
Yeah, that's a side that's on anyway. So, next. All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is pretty good. And actually, I've heard this before. This is not the first time I've heard this. So, an original VHS tape you would think is worth nothing nowadays.
Right.
That's not necessarily true. And this is not the first time. The first time I heard about this was about 5 years ago, but it's been posted again. An original VHS might make you a small fortune. Now, it depends what it is.
What?
Like, for this instance, Disney has original, if you got an original Hunchback of Notre Dame, okay, original, it's worth, let's see, did it say? It says here, it doesn't say, but let me take you to the next one, because the next one says. He's going to drive me crazy.
I'll
Okay,
go up and get him.
The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh
Oh.
is going, now you would buy that for $20, okay?
Right.
It says here, Winnie the Pooh and the Gang was a childhood right for so many of us, especially me. I love Winnie the Pooh.
Uh-huh.
Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. Winnie. I don't remember how it goes, but anyway. The stories that took place, it says here, the original copy came out in 1977 and can be found online for about $20. The actual amount you pay for one may depend on the condition. However, if you got a first edition of the book, you can get a lot more than $20. One reseller had their copy listed for $750.
Wow.
For the book and the video. There are some collectibles that are going from $5,000 to $25,000, depending what someone's willing to pay for their 12-inch Pooh colorful rainy day plush toy.
Oh, gee.
Peter Pan. Now, first off, I'll tell you, there is several versions of things. The Disney stuff has your basic Peter Pan, your basic... Is Winnie the Pooh Disney? Anyway, but they have their diamond collection.
Right.
I got a bunch of diamond collections upstairs. I collected them when I found out they were worth something.
Oh,
and
wow.
I got them from Goodwill.
Wow.
Now, I paid pennies on these things. The diamond collection are worth money. And I don't know if they mention that or not. I want to see if they do mention.
I'm going to go. You want to mute my mic? I'm going to go up and get him his rawhides.
All right. Could you go to the bathroom for me while you're up there?
Sure.
All right. Good. But the Winnie the Pooh Sleeping Beauty, it says going for $50. It says if you haven't heard it. Oh yeah, here it is. There's a lot of black diamond tapes on the list. If you haven't heard that term before, it refers to the original and rare versions of these classic films that can be found on sites like eBay for thousands of dollars. Of course, just the original versions aren't worth that much in most cases. Like Sleeping Beauty, you might be able to get for $40. And it says here, people are trying to sell the originals for as much more than that, although doesn't necessarily mean anyone's buying it. Of course, in fact, if you Google Disney Black Diamond, you'll find all the naysayers that argue that you shouldn't even dream of spending $2,000 on that when you can find it somewhere for $20. But the Black Diamond is the big deal. If you can find one of these tapes with the Black Diamond, I can't imagine anybody really wanting the VHS tapes at this point. But, you know, if someone needed one of these tapes, I've got probably the majority of them, of the Disney stuff on VHS yet that I am probably going to get rid of. Which ones did you have, Amy? I'm just curious, because I may already have it, and I may be willing to part with it for you. And I would be willing to. Maybe they're the ones that were stolen from your house is mine. No. Anyway, I'd be curious as to which ones you actually had, because I have a bunch of them. In fact, I got some doubles of some of them that I'd be willing to part with, because I don't really see me going to the trouble of selling them, mostly because I started collecting them because I heard that they were worth some money, and oh, you bought all those. That'll keep him busy if he eats them. Let me put the other two in the. I was going to just grab the flat roll hides, but that'll work too. So these are the dog quiet treats.
And he just started doing that recently.
The past couple, probably the past month and a half, he's been doing that. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right. So the Black Diamonds are the ones that are good. I'm waiting for Amy to tell me which ones were stolen from her, because I may have replacements for her if so. Because I got these Black Diamond things. E.T. the Extraterrestrial is going for $75.
Oh, wow.
This is for a VHS tape. These are for freaking VHS tape. Now, I'm telling you.
I'll have to look at home and see if I have any.
There's just a Black Diamond on the back, on the
spine.
On the spine. They have the Black Diamond and the non-Black Diamond. So.
No, in my luck, I have the non-Black
She's still not
diamond.
answering. What is wrong with her? She's not that far behind. She's probably not listening. She probably is Walked away from the show. Okay, Song of the South. I don't have that one. That one's going for 100. But that would be okay. I could see that one because that. Oh, here she goes. Sleeping Beauty, Dumbo, Aristocrat. I think I have Sleeping Beauty and Dumbo. I might have the Aristocrats. I will go through my collection and see if are you looking for them, and if so, I'll see if I have them. And if I have them, I'll set them aside for you so that if I ever get to see you again. Hey,
That was the name of the song, wasn't it? If I ever get to see you again.
Who did I can hear the song kind of.
Yeah, I know.
I hate when you do that. It's gonna bother me until I can't think anymore. Cinderella Cat Thinking About It. Oh, okay. Well, let me know because I think I have at least 2 of those. I think I have Sleeping Beauty and I have Dumbo. I'll have to look for the Aristocats. I might have that one too, but Cinderella, I give that to you. Your little girl.
When will I see you again?
Yeah. What is it? Who is it? I know I'm gonna say. Oh yeah, that's it. That's
The 3 Degrees?
Oh, that's not what I thought. Huh. Maybe.
Yes, it's the 3 Degrees.
Maybe I wouldn't have answered that right. Anyway, so that's really cool. Let me see what else we got here. My Neighbor Totoro was going for 120. I don't have that one, I'm pretty sure. Legend of Hillbilly John is 150. I never heard of that one. Let's see. Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends is 160. I don't have that one. I'll tell you who did. Jamie had that for her kids. I remember seeing that when I used to go to her house when I was a kid. When I was a younger adult. She had Thomas the Tank stuff all over the place. Oh, she put when will I see you again? Okay, we already know that. Oh, that's right. You're 30 seconds behind us. Let's see here. Kong Fury. I never heard of that one either. That one's going for $200. You ought to look on if you get a chance. I'll tell you what. I'm going to do it right now. Pull up eBay, and we will check to see if any of those are actually on here.
Okay.
Okay, I got eBay up now.
Yeah, I have it up.
I'm going to put Disney Diamond. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to try it again.
I have it.
Yeah, but no one can see your screen unless I push the button. Disney Diamond. Did anything come up?
Yeah.
Any weird prices?
$450, $950 for the Jungle Book.
See, now I was telling you.
Peter Pan, $950.
Yeah, in the black diamond clamshell case.
Beauty and the Beast for $1,200.
Oh, I'll give it to you for $6. But I mean, the thing is, people are now. I don't know.
There we go.
I don't know how many people are actually selling them. So I thought of listing them on there.
Walt Disney 98 Dumbo, the original animated classic, for $999.99.
Oh, I'll sell you it for $800.
Or Alice in Wonderland, the
I have
original
that one, I think.
animated classic.
Holy cow! Did you see that? $10,000.
Well, that one benefits charity.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I'll tell you what. How about you? Can you talk for a little while? I'm going to go up and grab them. I'll bring them down. You can see.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Can you talk?
I think so.
Okay. I'll grab these and I'll show you what I got.
You're stepping on my cord again.
Stop stepping on your cord while I'm good and ready.
Yeah, and then it's like, this isn't going to work. Let me get rid of the headset.
Why are you right there anyway?
So you can see what you're doing.
Here we go.
You know, I mean, come on.
Talk. I'll be back.
Okay.
In a second.
Let's see. Some of the other prices here are kind of like $19.95, or lower. There's some that are like $6.80. You got some people that won't want to make money on it, but you have other ones that do. And I guess it really all depends on what what you're buying it for, or what you want out of it. I mean, yeah, I could see getting money, especially if you're really hurting. But there are other ways. Oh, there's a Fox and a Hound for $5,000. Yeah. Or even the Rescuers. Wow. Okay, very interesting. I mean, you just have to watch that you kind of know what you're looking for, because I never knew about black diamonds until I met Mike. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, let's see what other ones we have here. Jungle Book for $5,000. Oh, it looks like it's a group. It has Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Bambi, Fox and the Hound, Snow White, and Aladdin for $50,000. If you have that kind of money, I mean, gee whiz. You donate it to charity if you really want to. If you want to buy that. I guess that's foreign to me. I mean, I understand having these movies, and if they are worth something and you sell them, to get money, that's one thing. But if you're asking $50,000 and you have a sucker willing to pay that much for it, then you should at least donate part of it, I would think. I mean, there's one for $150 for Dumbo. Okay, I could see that. I wouldn't pay it, but I could see that. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, $244 for 101 Dalmatians. Again, I could see it. I just wouldn't pay that. And especially now, because a lot of it we don't have on VHS. I mean, everything's going to DVD, so it's really harder to get things. I mean, I still have my VHS player, but I don't even use it. I'd rather watch DVD if I'm going to watch anything at all. So, let's see. Oh. Now, another thing that I find interesting that may or may not take off is they have what they call diamond art painting. That's something new. I know it takes a lot of time to do, but there's a do-it-yourself kit here for diamond art that maybe at some point it'll go wild and be worth something, but who knows. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, okay, there's a Groot 5D full drill diamond painting. Okay, that is kind of cool. I mean, now he's going to want me, I'm going to have to go home and look and see which ones I have, if I have any at all, because I think I did look one time and I don't, and I'm okay with that, because for me, I'd probably sell it for a couple bucks and not realize it was worth something, unless I found it and put it away and then forgot where I put it. I could see me doing that. Oh, classic Bambi, $10,000 definitely. Yep, nope, I wouldn't pay that much for them. But it's something. I mean, definitely keep an eye out for them if you see them. Oh my goodness, Mike!
It's not all of them.
He brings down a box full. Buddy. Wow. Now some of them it looks like there's duplicates there, from what I can tell. Whoa.
Take these.
Okay, let's see what you got. Wow.
Here we go.
Okay, don't step on my cord. Look out, puppy. Wow.
All right.
There you go.
Said I had them all.
Yeah.
Now they're not all black diamond. There's the black diamond.
Oh, okay. Cool. You
This
want to
is
run up
a-
and down the steps again?
This is the Jungle Book.
Right. Let's see. There's one for $5,000.
This one's got a wrinkle.
Oh.
But it's in good condition.
Yeah.
So I have a Jungle Book. Let's see. Here is 101 Dalmatians. Black diamond.
Let's see what we've...
See, I could retire on this.
Yeah, you could.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm retired.
1350, 20, okay.
Ah.
Oh, there's 75. Oh, 250. Now we're
Okay,
getting
now we're
there.
talking.
Okay, 250. Oh, there we go. 3,600.
See?
Okay, we're good. Oh, there's $8,000. We're good.
Ah, but look at this. It's got
Ah.
sticky stuff. Have to get the maid in here to clean it up. Here,
Yep.
clean it up.
Hey, that's the shirt I'm wearing. It does say maid.
Hey, I gotta put my mic.
If that would help. Okay, are you back?
I think so. Okay, so there's two. Those are, okay, let's try. Well, Toy Story's probably not worth anything. This one doesn't look like a black diamond either. So there's no black diamond on that. Toy Story 2, no black diamond.
Okay.
So I'm trying to keep to the black diamond. How about Miracle on 34th Street? That's not Disney though. This was a video store one.
Oops.
we can.
Well, there's one for $300.
Well, this is the color. This is this one.
Oh.
The color one. Here. We should do it here. Well, I guess I can't. That's Disney. We're doing Disney. So
Okay.
I'll put this other stuff away. How about Disney's Belle? This isn't a black diamond either.
Nope.
I wonder if one of these boxes is all black diamond. Mickey's Magical Christmas. Nah, not worth anything.
Nope.
That's because it's not a black diamond either. Let's see. I think the other box is probably all black diamond. So let's look at the other box. Yep, this is the one. I did separate it. I didn't remember if I separated it or not. So here, wait a minute, these aren't black diamond. These are masterpiece collections. I thought I had more black diamond than that. Oh yeah, I do. Here's some. Alice in Wonder. Here's the. Okay.
Sleeping Beauty, if you have the Fox and the Hound and Beauty and the Beast to go with it, you can get $1,000.
Let me take a look. What do I want? Fox and the Hound.
Yep, and Beauty and the Beast.
Looks like I do not have Fox and the Hound. And I have Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
So I have two of them. Are they diamonds?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have diamonds. Oh, these aren't diamonds. This is not.
Oh.
This is the Masterpiece Collection.
Okay.
I don't know if the Masterpiece Collection is better or worse.
Let's see what we got.
I'll take the diamond off. Take off the diamond. I don't think they're diamond. I don't think that qualifies.
No.
Okay, so only the diamond are worth money. So I have Cinderella, I have Lion King, I have Aristocrat. I do have Aristocats. I have Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Do you have a Robin Hood?
I have a Robin Hood, I think.
Wow, that's $9.50.
Here is Robin Hood. And it is a black diamond.
$9.50.
So, Alice in Wonderland, that's a black diamond.
Oh, that's 10 grand.
And Bambi.
Let's see. No,
Oh,
not
I think
much.
Bambi would be
Well,
worth-
4 grand.
Yeah, here we go. I mean, that's these three here. That's worth like
Yeah.
a lot. But yeah, it's kind of fun. I ran across that on an article that talked about these things. But I've got Air Bud. I've got Recess School's Out. I got Beauty and the Beast. I got Beauty and the Beast out the butt. No, I got one Beauty and the Beast. I got lots of Cinderellas.
Wow.
I got, let's see here, Mickey's Special Christmas. None of these are diamonds, though. There's another Beauty and the Beast. There's another Beauty and the Beast. And they're both, actually, these are both different, yet the same.
Oh, wow.
I got the special edition, and I've got the Belle's Magical World Beauty and the Beast.
Cool.
And another Beauty and the Beast. I think it's different from those. Yeah, here's another Beauty and the Beast.
What? Wait a minute. That one says The Enchanted Christmas.
Yep, and then I've got Belle's Magical World, and I got Special Edition, all three.
Well, this one's a special edition, too.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
it's because that's Belle's Magic World. That's
That-
Beauty and the Beast.
That could be.
And this is The Enchanted Christmas. All Beauty and the Beast. And what else we got here? Mouse Hunt, and then there's
What?
Muppet Christmas, and then there's Lion King at 1, 2, 3. 3 Lion Kings. Got a Dalmatians.
Amy says you could start a college fund with that.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. 101 Dalmatians, Peter Pan, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Lion King, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Lion King, Pinocchio, Mary Poppins. Mary
Wow.
Poppins, I would imagine, would be worth something. So, I don't know. Hercules, Winnie the Pooh. So I got all these fun little things. The Alice in Wonderland and the Robin Hood and the Bambi. I like that. I didn't know they were worth that kind of money, but and then
Did you say Mary Poppins was a
Yeah.
black diamond? Because I'm not seeing it.
No.
I mean,
no, that's looks like it's just
yeah, Mary Poppins that actually isn't worth anything.
Yeah, of course.
Very little. If
You know
that.
why? Because Dick Van Dyke's in it, and that's your guy. Now, if Donald Trump was in it, but anyway, it's kind of fun. You know, like I said, I've tried to get a lot more black diamond ones, and I guess I didn't get that many. I got the special edition or the collection.
Right.
So
Cool.
what? Anybody want to buy a dog? Anyway, it's just kind of cool stuff. I mean, you
Be
know,
lost without Buddy.
probably. I don't want to find out. Although, if he saw the video, he's probably mad at me anyway.
It's right here.
As I said, my favorite dog in the world was Brandy. Anyway, it's just kind of cool. It's a neat little website that, you know, or a neat little thing that told us that, you know, like Hellraiser is $300. So just little things like that I thought were kind of cool.
It's stuff you have to watch out. You know,
Yeah,
you watch for. You never
Look,
know,
you know,
when you'll come across it.
I originally wanted to do. Pam used to collect these things because she loved Disney.
Right.
And when she died, I was going to just pitch them, and then I read this thing, and I thought, maybe I shouldn't just pitch them. Then I started getting obsessed by finding them, and I found them on that one website, and the one said that they were black diamond. I got a couple of black diamonds, and then I thought, well, then I'll collect black diamonds, and I'll go out looking for black diamonds, and then I'll sell them, and then as you can see, I've got them all. I haven't sold any of them. So it's just a neat little thing. I had time to do it. I needed to bring him down here anyway, so I thought, let's use the show for an excuse.
Oh, glad we could help you.
Yes. So anyway, that was the Black Diamond thing I thought was entertaining. This is kind of funny. It's, I wish my dog was like this. Missing dog turns up 60 miles away at the owner's old house.
Wow.
Yeah. I wish that was you. You could go to your old owner's house and bark at him or her. So it's kind of funny that the missing dog ended up back at the old house, and you would think that the dog would be at the new house, but he wanted to go to his old house. So it says here, a dog that went missing from his home in Kansas ended up 60 miles away at her old owner's house. Cleo, a 4-year-old Labrador, went missing from her house in Olaf, Kansas, and on July 12th, and turned up on her old porch in Lawson, Missouri, several days later. The new owner, Colton Michael, found the dog and helped return her to the owners after having her checked for a microchip. I have him checked as a microchip too. That's kind of a cool thing. He's the first dog I ever did that to.
Okay.
Because, I just kind of wanted, you had to microchip them if you were going to get them a lifetime license. And I thought it was worth it because I just didn't want to have to. I always forgot to get the license till the month or the year was half over, and then you think, well, what's the point? So this is a really strange story. Okay, so try to pretend for a second.
Oh.
Pretend you were having a child, and pretend that your daughter was having a child too, at the same time. Okay. Pretend that your daughter delivered first. Or delivered second. Okay, you were going to deliver first, and your daughter was going to deliver 2 weeks later.
Okay.
You chose a name for that child, and the name happened to be really a weird name. It was like an old-time name. Oh, that's not the right article. I was going to say it was Cleo, but that's the name of the dog. The name of the child that you were going to name was Clara. I knew it started with a C.
Okay.
But now, say your son said, or your daughter says, no, don't name your child Clara. That's what we were going to name our child.
Oh, brother.
What would you do? Would you name your child Clara because that's the name you liked, or would you give it up and let your kid name it? Let your kid name Clara and change your name, your kid's name.
I know what I would do.
I know what I'd do too.
What would you do?
I'd say, name your kid Clara. I'm going to name my kid Clara. If you don't like it, tough.
I could see that.
What would you do?
I would change mine to Ciara. Ciara.
See, I don't see a problem with it because the aunt is named Clara, and the grandkid, or not the aunt,
think about it.
It would, wait, how would that,
Think about it, though.
how's that work?
If...
Oh, so yeah, that means that the baby, the daughter's sister would be named Clara, and the daughter's child would be named Clara. I don't see a problem with that.
Why not? You usually have father-son or grandfather-father-son sharing names. Why couldn't you do it with girls?
You're talking about Michael. Everybody, when I was a kid, was named Michael.
Yeah.
That was the most popular name when I was growing up. Now you don't hear anybody named Michael.
Hardly anybody.
Yeah, now it's...
Now, I do know of a
Justin.
Michael that's spelled differently, that's M-Y-K-E-L.
Of course.
But, he's, I think, 14,
imposter.
15.
I was gonna do a Ric Flair and be M-I-C, but then people would call me Mick.
Yeah,
Or
we didn't like Mick.
yeah. So I kind of stopped doing that. But I was going to change my nickname to that. That would be my Mike instead of M-I-K. But I figured I'm not going to fight that battle. Anyway, that's the whole issue. Is the son's so it was the son and his girlfriend. So they went crazy because they said they're going to name their daughter Clara. don't you dare name your kid Clara. The mother says, I want to name my kid Clara. Now, personally, I think it's all stupid.
Well, the other option is you could, like, the mother could say, I'm going to name my daughter Clara Ann. That's going to be her full first name, Clara Ann.
Well, here's what really happened. The mother got mad that they were getting angry at her for wanting to name her kid Clara. And it says here the next day is... then the son, it's actually the mother and the son, and then the son's girlfriend. So it's
Okay.
not even a... They could both be Clara and it wouldn't matter, because they're not
But
exactly...
if you'd have a sister and a daughter both named Clara.
So what?
Yeah, that's true.
But the bottom line is, then they were trying to talk her into the mother into naming the daughter Paxton, Paxtyn, and they were upset when she reacted negatively for Paxton. Now I think Paxton's a cool name, but you know it's funny. I think about that. Today, kids are named a lot of last names for first names.
Yes.
Like Bill Paxton was cool. I like Bill Paxton. I wouldn't mind being named Paxton, but I don't know. So they went crazy on this whole mess, and the mother finally said, "Grow up." She said, "You know, as far as I'm concerned, why?" Okay. I forgot to tell you this. The mother is financially taking care of both of them too,
Oh, brother.
and they have the guts to tell her to stop using that name. Personally, first off, I want to know why he and his girlfriend aren't fending for themselves at this
Well,
point.
yeah.
You should have, if you're going to have a kid, you should be financially stable. Mm-hmm. If you're not having, if you're
Unless
not
it was an
financially
accident.
Yeah, I don't know how old. I don't think it says how old the son was. Does it?
That's just crazy.
Anyway, so the mother was threatening to cut off her child for them acting like idiots. Hey, she has a right. She should have cut him off before.
Yeah.
And said, But anyway, I just thought it was funny that families are.
I mean, she could have still used Clara, but spelled it differently.
You know what my family would do? They
What?
wouldn't care. They'd do whatever they wanted.
Yep.
My mom would say, "I'm going to name my kid whatever I want to call my kid."
Just say Clara with
And my
K-L-A-R-A.
sister would say, "I'm going to name my kid whatever I want to name my kid." And I would say, "I'm going to name my kid whatever I want to name my kid." And my brother would say, "I'm going to name my kid whatever I want to name my kid." And my other brother would say, "I'm going to name my kid whatever I want to name my kid." To me, this is a stupid argument altogether, but they're making a big fuss over it. And I think.
I mean, you see, like I said, you see sons named
Oh, yeah.
after their fathers, so why not?
Like Amy Sue said, we have a Catherine and a Katrin.
Yep.
The daughter is Katrin. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the daughter's cute as can be. When I saw her, she was cute as can be. I haven't seen her in a couple of years, but she's just so...
Cute.
Yeah. Don't know where she got it.
Oh, that was mean.
Well, that's me.
Yeah, that's
my
true.
heel. I'm a heel. I'm supposed to be mean. So, I wonder if I'm turned down. I should be. Nope, that was all the way up. Okay, so
You dropped
I'm gonna drop
something.
one of these days, I'm going to drop it, and it's not going to work when I pick it up.
That's true.
As many times as I've dropped this thing.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay. There, I'm supposed to smack you.
Okay, smack her. Tool.
Hey, I'm only doing what I was told.
You're being a tool. You're being told what to do.
Yep.
So anyway, I just thought it was interesting that that the argument went to be that far. I mean, my mother wouldn't have paid for me to be on the. Anyway, so Biden is on the presidential trail, and I know how political you are, but you'll love this.
Yeah.
You'll love this. Biden says he compared the COVID-19 deaths and gun deaths Joe Biden said 150 million Americans have died from guns, and 120 million Americans have died from COVID.
Did he keep a list?
Do you see the problem with this?
Yes.
The problem with this is it wasn't 150 million. It wasn't 120 million. It was more like, let's see here.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, he is an idiot. And he wants to be president, and I hope he doesn't get there. I mean, I realize that people are sick of Trump. A lot of people. And a lot of people like Trump. But Trump gets things done.
Yeah.
And whether or not you like him, hey, he gets things done. And it's not his fault this COVID thing blew up in his face. It didn't matter who was in there. Everybody would have been screwed because they didn't. Nobody knew what to do. This is all new to us. Never before have any of us run into a situation where we had to lock people at home and say you can't leave your house. Never in our history.
But you can go outside in your yard.
Well, they probably didn't even want that. But I mean, nobody knew how to do this. I mean, if Biden was in office, he would have screwed up a lot too.
Yeah.
Everybody. This is such a weird.
It's a learning thing.
I mean, it did happen in the early 1900s or late 1800s. I don't remember which.
But who was alive then? Not us.
It's a world of difference. Is this my disc that I've been looking for?
Poof!
Oh, I love it. I thought this was gone.
Gee.
Well, I've been cleaning the studio up, and I've been putting things around different areas, and
Well,
you can't really tell I've been cleaning it up because it doesn't look like it right now. But right now, I'm concentrating on the upstairs. Anyway, so the truth of the matter is, it isn't 150 million and 120 million. It is 150,000 and 120,000. But even that is not right.
million, thousand, what's a zero?
Yeah, really. But he actually says, in addition to that, I passed the Brady bill with waiting periods. I led that fight, but my friend on the right, gesturing to Bernie Sanders, and others have, in fact, gave in to the gun manufacturers' absolute immunity. Imagine if I stood here and said we'd give immunity to drug companies. We give immunity to tobacco companies. That caused a carnage on our streets. 150 million people have died, have been killed since 2007. Where is he? Where does he live? I don't know where he's living, but
under a rock.
Even
apparently.
our wars where we're shooting people, we've not killed 150 million people. And if we have, well, the population is a lot less, so there should be more jobs. And it says, Bernie voted to exempt gun manufacturers from liability more than all the wars, including Vietnam, from that point on. And let's see here, as of June 25th, when he made the statement, the death toll for COVID was 119,000. Not 120,000, 119,000. Not 120 million, 119,000. And gun violence, in the gun violence claim, he meant to say 150,000 people, and data from the Disease Control and Prevention confirms that 2007 to 2018, which is 11 years, there were more than 148,182 firearm homicides. So that's over an 11-year period. So if you divide that by 10, we're looking at 14,818 a year. That's still a lot, but really, in the grand scheme of things, that has nothing to do with what the president did. I don't think that he's even close to all that stuff. So, to blame that on the president, you'd have to blame it on every president between 2007 and now. So, yeah, Biden's a jerk. I really am afraid of him. I am so afraid of him. I really want to feel confident that whoever's in power has an idea of what's going on, but it doesn't matter who we get. We're just going to have a lot of people that don't know how to do things. I think, where's the treat?
I think you set the videos on them.
Great. Oh yeah, I did. Just thought maybe I should give him something else to calm down his doggy persona. Are you going to be happy if I give you another one of these? I'm sure.
There's one laying over here.
Give me that. Give me that one. It's not getting another one.
There's one laying right there that I gave him.
What do you want? You want a cookie, don't you? Of course you do. Anyway, all right. Spotify now supports video broadcasts.
Cool.
I kind of found that interesting. They're setting it up to compete with YouTube. So they want to do stuff. So I'm going to look to see what it takes to do that. I mean, they're initially only launching a couple shows. The Book of Basketball 2.0, Fantasy Footballers, the Misfits Podcast, H3 Podcast, Morning Toast, Higher Learning with Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay, the Rooster Teeth Podcast. That's what they're going to start with. However, they're going to branch out and see, we may end up talking to them and see if we can get in there. It'll be interesting to get into a situation where we have support of someone like Spotify. I don't know if I gave you that one to look up last week or not. Did I? Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That was before I knew that they were going to do video broadcasts. So it's interesting they're looking to do video. So I guess as more radio shows are going video, they got to capitalize on that.
Of course.
And of course, we're one of the pioneers of that, I guess. I don't know. And you wonder why my campaign t-shirt is for Muppets. Yeah, I would agree. Hard Rock Cafe collapsed in like January of last year when they were working on it, and they still haven't found two of the bodies.
Ooh.
Recovery work in New Orleans. Recovery works starts for two bodies. It says here the two workers were among the three that were killed. Oh, I was wrong. I said January. When part of the 18-story hotel crumbled to the ground during construction in October of 2019.
Ooh.
Is that is
almost a year?
Well, I was thinking pre-Ashley or post-Ashley. He looked at you like really weird. He is so spoiled. Why do you spoil him?
He deserves it.
He doesn't deserve it. He gets a lot. I got that. Oh, so I bought this. I don't think I talked about this on the show. I talked about it with you. The new dog food.
Yes.
So I bought this new dog food. It was supposed to be the best dog food in the world for your dog. And I bought 6 bags of it. And they said they're going to be more expensive than the basic dog food. And they are. A small bag was $35. I thought, okay, I've seen small bags of like the different small bags, and they're like they're small bags. These small bags are very small bags. They're like potato chip size bags, and but he does love that food. He just gobbles that food out, and I've never seen a dog go crazy over food like that. But he loves that food. Anyway. So yeah, these 2 people, 3 people were in this collapse. They found one right away. Says one, Anthony Margaret, 49, was removed a day after the collapse. And then it says here a lot of preparation has gone into the retrieval of the bodies. And so they're talking about they want to try to, in January it says here, a tarp covering one of the bodies fell due to the high winds. Jeez. But they're in the process of trying to recover the says here, when the building collapsed, oh, I remember this. 2 giant cranes remained perched aside the wreckage. I didn't know people died.
Ooh.
I remember this, we talked
Well, maybe
about
at that point they weren't dead, and because they weren't rescued, maybe they've died since then.
It says, in addition to the 3 who died, dozens of people were injured. And people have filed wrongful death
Yeah,
that too.
lawsuits.
Yeah. So, there you go. But, yeah. Strange stuff. I know, bud. I know you're starving. You don't ever get to eat. Freaking dying of...
Doesn't like his new food.
Doesn't like anything. So...
He just likes people food, don't you?
He does like people food. So, a St. Louis couple who pulled guns on protesters are charged with unlawful use of a weapon.
Wow.
Yeah. I agree.
You better be careful. He's going to put a microphone on you.
You'd have to put a headset on him. A wireless headset.
Yeah.
But, so they, St. Louis couple who drew national attention for brandishing guns at protesters late June was charged Monday. Patricia and Mark McCloskey each face one charge of unlawful use of a weapon, flourishing. I don't know what the flourishing means. I guess maybe showing it.
Or waving
It's
it
illegal
around.
to wave weapons in a threatening manner at those participating in a non-violent protest. And we're fortunate in this situation, it did not escalate into deadly force. He's a pesky dog. We must protect the right to peacefully protest, and any attempt to chill it through intimidation will not be tolerated. They had a search warrant last week, and they seized Mark McCloskey's gun. The couple's former attorney later turned over to Patricia McCloskey's gun. Not turned over, but not turned over to, but turned over her gun.
They gave the gun.
They gave the gun. Yeah,
They
that's
took it away from the people.
So the confrontation took place June 28th, where several hundred protesters were headed to home of the St. Louis mayor, Lyda Krewson. Photos and videos show the couple with guns drawn as protesters passed their home, which is located in a private street. See, there's absolutely no reason, unless the protesters are coming up to your house and destroying it, or...
And even then, your property should be posted with, like no trespassing signs.
But
then
even,
if they step on, then you pull the gun.
But even if it isn't, if they're not on your property, if they're not scared, they said that he and his wife were scared for their lives. They don't look too scared. They look cocky.
Yeah.
And they look like, oh, we're going to become a media sensation. I don't know. I think they did the right thing by. I think the police did the right thing by putting charges on them, because I don't want my neighbor to come out and wave his gun around, and he would do that. That's the kind of guy he is. But that's not something I want to deal with.
I'm glad I don't have a neighbor like that.
Bowski did.
Yeah.
Bowski did. That's why he ended up moving. But Bowski was the one that got in trouble.
Wow.
So he went to. I think they took him to jail that night.
Oh my goodness. You need a neighbor like Keith.
I don't know what to say to that.
No, just admit it. Hey, it's right there.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. You can't have it. No, you can't have it. You didn't want it. You didn't want it. You want it?
Nope, he's full now.
You dumb dog. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So that's as far as I'm concerned, they did the right thing. So it says here that while I'm there, it says COVID-19 deaths rising.
Fulfillment center is like
Rising.
walking into the chocolate factory.
Chocolate factory. COVID deaths in Texas are rising as hospitals reach capacity. I've got a story about that one somewhere in here. I think I have Florida. Florida is at capacity right now. They got 50 hospitals in Florida, and they're at capacity for COVID.
Oh, brother.
It's just crazy. You know, the thing is, the people don't seem to understand. This is not a farce. This is not a political thing. This is people dying. And the ones that say, oh, this is all fake, they're the ones that are dying now.
Mm-hmm.
But here's, let's see what the CDC says here. Oop, I guess I gotta unmute it. Here we go. Let's see what, other countries actually have gotten through this COVID thing. We're the only country that's rising in numbers. You know why? Because we have our freedom.
Yep.
Our freedom to die, because these people are stupid. It's just nuts. I swear, these people just are unbelievable. All right, tell us what you got to tell us, girl. Let's hear it.
Well, maybe
Right?
she doesn't want to tell you
Yeah,
now.
it sounds like she doesn't want to tell me now. What is
Good evening, and thank you for joining
You're
us.
welcome.
And as the U.S. approaches 4 million confirmed cases
4
of coronavirus,
million.
tonight a stunning new report from the CDC suggests the number of Americans who've actually been infected is likely twice that number and could be significantly bigger. Government scientists now say antibody tests
I
show
hear an
the
echo on
total
that.
number of
I'll get rid of
infections
that.
may be 13 times higher in some parts of the country. Now that means millions of Americans may have been spreading the
Which one
virus
is it?
without even knowing it. Tonight, with the
get rid of-
situation worsening nationwide, President
That's not it. Where's it echoing from?
and he called for Americans to wear masks and practice social distancing.
Trump actually wore his mask. Ugh. Ugh. Unbelievable. I just don't understand why can't we share the info and let everybody get done with this?
Yeah,
Why do we
would
got
be
to steal
nice.
it? And are we gonna be charged for this vaccine once it's done?
Probably. I mean, it just... Yeah, okay. And it's harder now because since we're all wearing masks, if somebody decides to rob a bank, oh, they were wearing a
No, I
mask.
don't think that's even crossed anybody's mind but yours.
Yeah. Oh.
That's crazy. That's true. I would think.
I sent it to you.
Sounds like a good place. I still wouldn't go.
Well, if it was drive-through, it'd be okay for you.
I have strictly stayed at home. I have not gone anywhere really. I think when I went out last week was the first time I've gone out. I haven't even gone to the grocery store. My fridge is almost empty.
Wow.
I mean, the freezer still has stuff in it, but the fridge is almost empty. But yeah, July 10th through 20th, the COVID was up 33%, a third up, just in that period of time, 10 days. That's in Texas. In Texas, Florida, and Arizona.
Well, that's in Texas, too.
Yeah, they can keep their strippers. I don't want it. I personally am scared to death of this COVID stuff. It's just too scary for me. I mean, the people don't care. The people like you and I and Amy and we care, but the bottom line is that it only takes one person to not care to screw this up.
And you have
a bunch of people that don't
Well,
care.
that's what I was saying before. Like, if we were in a group, there'd be one person in that group, and then over here's another group, and one person in that group, and over here's maybe like 3 more groups, and one person in each of those groups. That one person out of each of those 5 groups, that's 5 people.
And here's what Trisha's giving me.
Hey, it's an unusual story. You said you wanted unusual.
Houston is the home to Texas' first drive-through strip club. That's just, to me, I don't want to see...
It was unusual.
I don't have a fantasy of a nurse that's stripped like that. I don't have no fantasy of nurses with masks. That just doesn't do anything for me. The idea is, I see a mask, I think there's germs.
Well, that may be part of her routine. She could take it off for you.
I don't want it. She automatically turned me off just by the mask, because that reminds me of what we're in. We're in this situation where, the people don't care about. And look at this guy's car. Look at these rims. What do we need rims like that for? Look
I know.
up here. I mean, they're like from Road Warrior days. If you ever saw Road Warrior, the cars there had those kind of rims.
That's just crazy.
Oh.
I saw those kind of rims on, well, not exactly those kind, but an 18-wheeler had the kind that come out. And it's like, really?
Oh,
I think your puppy dog's played out now.
I hope so.
Me too.
I hope he is. I got to find something to keep him busy during the show. He's just out of control. Okay, this may have posted it, may
Yeah,
not.
because he used to be quiet.
No, he used to walk around squeaking the squeaker. He didn't bark. So, all right, let's see here. We got, this is a weird one. Okay, so 3 guys decided to go on a fishing trip, but they were killed in a massacre. This was in Florida. Amy's hometown. Says here's what we know about the manhunt for the killers of the 3 Florida friends on the fishing trip. So these guys all they were doing, they didn't have any, they were going to go fishing, but somehow they ended up being killed. And that's in Lakeland, Florida. And let's see what Sheriff Grady has to say, because if there's anybody that knows about things, it's Sheriff Grady. So,
folks appear to be beaten and shot. Did you hear me? Beaten and shot.
Sheriff Grady is one you don't mess with.
And he was murdered. And it appears that while the suspects, and we certainly believe there's more than one, are in the process of murdering Damon, that Brandon and Kevin showed up in a bike truck. And they were shot up.
Unbelievable. That's like a movie. Sheriff Grady.
One of our victims, Brandon Rollins, was able to call his father and say help. His father, who was home in bed asleep, heard the call from his son, knew where they were fishing, jumped up, got dressed, rode here immediately. It was about 10 minutes away across the river. When he arrived, he saw this horrific scene of where all these young men had been shot up. And we need the community's help identifying who killed these 3 young white men.
I mean, that's such a weird thing. It's like there's no reason for it. They just kind of, we don't know enough about why it happened, but we know that it happened. And I'm like freaking out because, these guys were just going to go on a fishing trip, at least as far as we know. Now, maybe it was a drug deal going on.
It could have been.
Oh, okay, there it is. I was trying to figure out. Okay, now it makes sense. I was trying to figure out where the noise was coming from. I had to reboot the chat room for me. There we go. Turn it on. But, that's kind of weird to think about, that these 3 guys were just going fishing, and the one was, they were viciously murdered. Not just killed, they were viciously killed. They were beaten and killed.
Probably
So
drug
what-
deal going bad or something. They
could
probably
be.
thought that, oh, these people have drugs, even though the guys didn't.
Maybe one of the guys, maybe that was their cover,
Yeah,
and they were going there to party.
that could have been. I mean, you don't know, and it's sad no matter what happened.
Yeah. But if Grady Judd's on the case, I feel sorry for whoever he ends up catching, because Grady doesn't pull punches.
Wow.
He's the one guy that made his jailmates wear pink. Hey, you get a tough guy in pink,
I thought only cool guys wore pink.
I'm talking tough guys in pink.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of weird. But yeah, Grady Judd's on the case. So, we got a snoring dog now. I don't know what's worse, snoring or barking. Protesters. I'm trying to remember what that was about. I saw that one. I don't remember what it's about. Okay. In Detroit, police officers charged with felony assault after rubber bullets were fired at journalists.
Wow.
Why would you shoot at the journalist? The journalist is there to take the information down, write a report. There's no reason to shoot at the journalist. But these guys are... It scares me when we run into that type of police. I mean, that's the type of police that are getting in trouble all the time now because they're doing one thing after another, and they're constantly, if I were a cop right now, I'd be squeaky clean. You couldn't get anything on me.
But that's the thing. Some people think that police get away with everything.
Right.
And that's not necessarily the case. I mean, they have to do their investigation. They have to be held. Actually, they should be held to higher standards.
That's what I'm trying to say. These people were doing things that they're getting in trouble for that maybe it never came to light before. So it says Daniel DeBono, a 32-year-old corporal, has been suspended with pay. That's not a punishment. While police investigate the accusation. It says here, confirmed Monday during a news conference about an unrelated fatal shooting. The evidence shows that these three journalists were leaving the protest area and that there was almost no one else on the street where they were.
Wow.
They were a threat to no one. They were simply, with no reasons, why the alleged actions of this officer were taking place. So DeBono faces 3 counts per victim, so there's 3 victims, 9 counts. If convicted, DeBono could be sentenced to up to 4 years in prison. I mean, if the guy was... See,
He'll be out too.
The problem is that cops have this
They have a belief that if something goes wrong, that they can still get away with it because they were defending whatever it was that
that's
caused
not-
the situation.
No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say they have this idea that they're untouchable. And, well, that's kind of what you said. But,
Yeah.
But they're untouchable, and they have this feeling that they're superior. That's what I wanted to say. Was they're superior, and they like our what's the cop that said, "I am the law." Oh, Judge. That was what was his name? He was Stallone when he was Judge. He was. He was Judge something. Stallone? I don't know. I don't know if you can find it that way. You might. Judge Stallone. Judge Dredd. That's what it was. He's Judge Dredd. I am the law. And he would be able to do whatever he wants to do because he was the law.
Well, didn't you know the song "I Fought the Law" and the law won?
Well, the thing is,
The law always
that
wins.
movie was kind of futuristic in that it put cops out on the street as judge, jury, and everything. And they would be able to arrest you on sight and convict you of whatever because they were the judge. So he was Judge Dredd.
Yeah, your name, he knew that.
I need a new assistant, one that knows things. Doesn't have to look them up all the time.
That was before my time.
Google's. better than calling you Giggles. Fire truck. Anyway, so he'll get his just desserts, hopefully.
Giggle fire truck you.
Trying to remember what this one story was. I wrote it down and I remember seeing it. I guess I'll bring it up. And in Portland, there's all kinds of things going on because they're the highest protest area right now. Oh, that's right.
Oh boy,
that's what it was. Okay, now that I see the picture, I know what it's. I know what it is. Okay, so how do I explain what's going on? I'll just read it because I can't explain
Was it her birthday?
Well, there's a couple things going on here. She emerged as an apparition from the clouds of tear gas as federal agents fired pepper balls at angry protesters in early Saturday's darkness. A woman wearing nothing but a black face mask and stocking cap strode forward. A dozen heavily armed guard agents attired in camouflage fatigues lined up across the downtown Portland street. The agents dispatched by the Trump administration over vociferous objects of state and city officials are part of a force that has fired projectiles at and detained activists protesting nightly since the killing of George Floyd by Minneapolis police May 25th. That's a mouthful. Okay, so basically what happened is this woman here is walking naked, but she didn't get arrested because she's not doing anything illegal, believe it or not. I gotta see if I can find the explanation of this. Here it is. In 2008, a county judge cleared a nude bicyclist of indecent exposure charges, saying that cycling naked had become a well-established tradition in Portland as form of a symbolic protest. 4 years later, a man was acquitted of similar charges by a judge who interpreted his stripping naked at Portland International Airport as a legitimate form of protest against the TSA. The woman making her statement on Saturday was altogether uninhibited, at one point standing on one leg and raising her arms in an archetype motion. Just trying to think here. Standing on one leg and I guess... Anyway, later she rolled on her back in a graceful pose, then stood up again. The second group of officers, who may have been either Portland police or federal agents, also left. Because there's nothing, I mean... it says here, I should say, as she struck her ballet pose, a patrol car arrived and a dozen officers in blue uniforms replaced the line of agents, whom officials described as having been targeted by protesters throwing rocks, bottles, pieces of metal. She sat in the street facing them, legs spread in the headlights' glare. I can't imagine doing that. I mean, you know, it says here, later she rolled back in a graceful pose, then stood up again. The second group of officers, who may have been Portland police or federal agents, also left. In all, the woman's appearance lasted about 15 minutes. News photographers said she slipped away uninjured into the crowd. So, nudity has served as a form of protest since the 11th century, when legend holds that Lady Godiva rode naked, veiled only by her long hair. Is she a real person? Was Lady Godiva a real person? I thought that was just a story. Oh. On Twitter, sympathetic commentators were quick to conclude that Naked Athena, as they dubbed her, caused the officers to turn tail, but the reason for their departure is not clear. Others on Twitter said the performance by a white woman distracted the protests of injustices faced by black people.
Okay, wait a minute. It says the original Lady Godiva was an 11th century noblewoman married to the Earl of Mercia and Lord of Coventry.
Okay, so there is a Lady Godiva. I didn't know that she was real. I thought that was just a story. So, anyway, so she had the right to protest by stripping down and...
Yeah, it said she was indeed a real person, She was known for her generosity to the church, and along with her husband, she helped found a Benedictine monastery in Coventry.
Okay. I didn't know she was real. I would have bet that she wasn't. It's kind of strange. Anyway, so that's what happened in Portland. I have a friend in Portland, Josh, who owned the Leaf.
Oh.
He's from Portland, or that area. And also, if you remember, the listener of the wrestling radio show that used to contact me saying my show kept him smiling.
Yes.
I don't know if he's even alive yet because he was going through cancer treatments and stuff, but yeah. Okay, I'm not going to do that.
I guess we just have to play the puppy dog out before the show.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Oh, this is interesting. The judge denied the release of a teen who violated probation by not doing his schoolwork amid the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
So he didn't get released because he didn't do his schoolwork. More power to him. I mean, that's the thing, is that we're too lean on these children. And they got in trouble and are in that place for a reason. And if they're still going to fight it by not doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's your job. If you get put away for doing something wrong, your job is to be good and do what you're supposed to do. And if he doesn't do that, I believe that the judge did the right thing. Says a Michigan judge on Monday ruled against the release of a black teenage girl who was incarcerated for not completing... Oh, she was incarcerated... No, wait a minute. That sounds like she was incarcerated for not completing her stuff. I don't think that was the case.
That's what it says.
Yeah, I know. It says, ruled against releasing the girl, identified as Grace, from a juvenile detention. Here we go. Who was on probation after allegedly assaulting her mother. Okay, the first time it sounds like she was incarcerated for not completing her
Gee, maybe
online
they didn't get schoolwork done if that happened.
They really needed to rethink the wording of that, because it sounded, if I had only read the headlines, but that's not the way I read it when I wrote it, when I put it into my notes. I thought, wait a minute, that's not what she did. So, yeah, so she was denied the motion for early release on Monday because she didn't do her stuff. She was told to do her homework. She didn't do her homework. She didn't get out. So there's consequences for your actions, as someone I know said recently in a video. He was a really smart guy.
Yes, he was. I mean, is.
Although he only had a C average from what I heard. So.
And somehow he managed to talk his way into going to college at 16.
Somehow. Powerful Ohio lawmaker is arrested for his role in the largest bribery scheme in state history. The Ohio House Speaker Larry Householder, he holds houses, Householder, and 4 cohorts were arrested on Tuesday in what prosecutors call the largest bribery scream. I think I had another stroke.
I think you just too much caffeine.
No, I can never have too. I can tell you, I need the caffeine. I got up early this morning with my toothache. So, FBI agents raided Householder's farm in Glenford, about 45 miles east of Columbus, according to the Perry County's sheriff. They have a Perry County, too.
Oh, wow.
Who assisted in the operation Tuesday morning. The 61-year-old householder, regarded as one of the state's 3 most powerful lawmakers, was taken into custody and charged with racketeering conspiracy. And that's probably not good for a lawmaker to be charged with racketeering conspiracy.
Yeah,
that's going to go on his permanent record, I would think. Arrested and charged were the Speaker's advisor, Jeffrey Longstreth. What a name.
Longstreth, nope.
Yeah, what's a streth? And why is it long? Must be streth. They streth it to
They
it went long.
stressed it out.
Must have. 44. He was a former Republican chairman. Matthew the former Ohio Republican chairman Matthew Borges, or is it Borges, 48, and prominent lobbyist Neil Clark and Juan.
C.
Do you say C? Do you say the letter C, or do you say it? Yeah, Cespedes.
I'd have just said C. Juan C.
And Juan, he's 40.
You know, like in school, you know, you had Michael T. and Billy R. Sorry.
Billy S.
Uh-huh.
Squire. Because of the nature of the charges, it will be impossible for a Speaker householder to effectively lead the House of Representatives in Ohio. Therefore, I'm calling on Speaker Household to resign immediately. So, this little problem of money laundering, it could be, or largest bribery. Yeah, it says, the defendants are behind what is likely the largest bribery and money laundering scheme ever perpetrated against the people of the state of Ohio.
Well, the last time I did laundry, I did money laundering.
Did you launder money?
Uh-huh.
How
About
much?
35 cents.
Wow. You better watch. Don't admit it. Don't admit it. I mean, just keep it between you and me.
Okay.
Because, you know, they don't like money launderers. That, you know, the show Ozark that I told you about?
Uh-huh.
That's all about money laundering.
Wow.
And it's pretty violent, too. They get into some situations. Hi there. You're standing. Why are you standing?
Well, I better be careful because I got to do laundry tomorrow
Yeah,
night.
there's going to be FBI agents at the laundromat for you. They're going to be waiting for you. Because I'll call them. I mean...
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. I need some money to fix my teeth. Minnesota.
See, Amy Sue even said she laundered money.
I can't imagine either of you having any money to launder.
Oh, that's right. I didn't bring my wallet in.
Yeah. See, you don't even bring your wallet because it doesn't have any in it.
Actually, there is money in
Is
it.
there?
Yeah.
Stick them up. I need some money for my teeth.
There's about $209
That's
in
not
it.
enough to fix my teeth. It says here, Minnesota officers barred from warrior policing in the wake of the George Floyd death.
It's better, puppy.
You know, I got to tell you that there's no good thing about police brutality as far as we look at it. But I will tell you, if I were to die by a police brutality thing, the amount of mileage that we've got out of George Floyd's death, he didn't die in vain. Because of him, all this awareness is out there
Right.
of the things that are going on. And there is, you know, you figure he died in March, February, something like that. And this is still going on. So this is, you know, he at least didn't die in vain because the protests are still going on. In freaking Oregon, way in Oregon, and that didn't happen in Oregon. So
He died in May, the end of May.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No.
May 25th, 2020. Said he was killed in Minneapolis, Minnesota during an arrest for allegedly using
Okay,
a
who's the
counterfeit.
guy that died in February then? George Floyd is the guy that had his neck, the guy had his thing on his neck. There was a guy that died in February, but George Floyd's getting all the, okay, so so he's not getting a lot of mileage yet. It's the other guy that is getting, the guy I can't remember whose name is.
I mean, he's still getting it because this is what started the Black Lives Matter.
Put Black Lives Matter deaths, so we can figure out who the guy is at February that died. That there's actually, we could have gone to that.
Freddie Gray? That's 2015.
No, that was in that one. Damn, I can't remember. Wait,
Wait a minute,
let's see if Amy Sue Smarty McPants knows. Actually, make a fair wait. Oh yeah, I was only kidding about that. Go to the Black Lives Matter website because there's somebody that we're missing that is a high profile that I've forgotten his name and I can't believe it. or the conversation one. That's let's go to the 6.
This one?
Maybe. Well, let me see the names. Those are not the ones I'm thinking of. No, let's look and see. Wait, we can see them right there. Oh, okay.
That was some of them. Not
Yeah,
all
it says
of them.
11. There was somebody. I can't believe I can't remember. No, that's too old. Get up there. Put Black Lives Deaths 2000 or 2020. Didn't think of that. Just put 2020. Yeah, there we go. 2022. Oh, the ones that are going to happen in the future. You're going to guess on. Let's see. Who was it? Okay.
Candace Owens?
No, she's saying that it claimed more lives.
No, it does say George Floyd.
Yeah, George Floyd is one of them. There's no doubt about that. But there was one. There were a couple. There were 3 before him. The one was a girl. Oh, I can't believe I don't. Wait. Wasn't there a wait? Hold on. What's that? Is that a person? No, it says Black Parents. How many times did I drop this today?
Twice.
At least. Oh, there's a battery that isn't in anything. All right, it don't matter. Well, I mean, it does matter. It does matter, but for the sake of argument, I can't remember.
Okay, I'm trying to. Yeah, I don't know.
I forget. I'm freaking. When I could name them all, I could name them all a couple weeks ago, and now I can't remember any of them. Freaking A.
It happens.
It's the stroke. Yeah, that's what it is. The stroke. Stroke me, stroke me.
No! No!
That's true. I don't really want to go that. I will never want to go through that again. Anyway,
That's not what I was thinking, but...
Anyway, what Minnesota lawmakers have passed a new police measure that is banning chokeholds and neck holds.
Martin? Trayvon Martin?
No, that was with what's his face? The George Zimmerman shot him.
Oh, okay, because that's what Amy Sue was saying.
No, that was back in what, 4 years ago, 5 years? I'm talking about just 2020. You guys are as ditzy as I am.
This is why I don't pay attention to the news. It's too
Maybe
depressing.
if you paid attention, I wouldn't feel so stupid, or I'd probably feel stupider then. So, okay. Anyway, so basically, Minnesota says no more chokeholds or neck holds if you're taking someone down. So that's what they're basically talking about. Wait, images? Oh, I don't want the images.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know there was that guy in Georgia, but he was further along. He was after, what's his name? George Floyd got it because he was that.
Derek Chauvin was... No, that's...
He's been charged.
Yeah.
There were 3. Oh, well, that's right. There were 3 police officers were in George Floyd. There was somebody else though that was in February. And I know there was the one guy that was running through town that the father and son killed. Yeah. Hopefully.
Colonel Hans Christian
No.
Haig? Let's see, no.
No. I don't. It'll hit me after the show goes off the air. I'll remember them, but that doesn't matter now. I'm going to move on with the show because I got a lot of stuff. All right. Anyway. Oh, this is interesting. This new video says Chicago police said that there was this new video reveals an organized ambush of officers along the protest. So, a brutal attack on police near the Christopher Columbus statue in Grant Park. Maybe we can see if we can get them to talk about it. Okay, here we go. Tell us, Matt. Tell us. 18 officers. Can you imagine? The police are being attacked as they've been ambushed by this. This is kind of scary that the people have taken this stance.
Amy Sue said she couldn't hear
She can't hear. Oh.
the video.
Oh. All right, which one did I turn off that should be turned back on?
You have that effect
Oh,
on
I know.
women,
I know
don't
which
you?
one it is. Yeah, I do that a lot. I turn people off. It should be back on now.
In our city, in our nation. PPD is on the front line of this thing.
And it's not all police that are bad. So there were 12 people murdered, 63 people shot, and 41 shooting incidents.
63 people were shot.
I would not want to live there.
Me neither. Especially since it's a windy city.
Yeah.
This time, a shooting injured cousins, 2 boys, ages 10 and 11.
Is COVID the thing that's going to kill our children?
No.
Or are
Maybe.
each other going to be the thing?
I think it'll be each other. And that's because of COVID, partially, because people aren't going to be willing to... the thing is, the pandemic is bringing the worst out of people.
Yes.
And it doesn't make it anything easier. I mean, the police have got more issues, and they've got more pressure on them. I'm not saying that I am supporting the brutality. I will never support brutality. My brother was brutal to me, and I just think that there's not a place for it. But there's also not a place for an ambush on policemen. I think that there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. The right way is to go through the courts, not to, just attack the police.
Exactly.
I think that's the wrong way to do it. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy. All right, where are we at here? We got 10 minutes. I've got to go through the COVID stories I've got that are interesting.
Nothing's interesting about COVID.
There is some interesting things. Okay, I'll go through these quickly. Here's a shame on you, Florida governor heckled as coronavirus's cases continue to spike in the state. They don't seem to have a handle on it, and they're not going to have a handle on it till they find a way to make people stop not believing in it. This is just... I don't know why Florida and Texas and Arizona are so much higher than everybody else, but there's got to be a better way. I mean, they're instantly killing people and they don't realize it.
Okay, I have a question. And this goes to something you had said to me before we started the show.
Okay.
Okay, we know of the list of states that
Yes.
if you go to those states, like on vacation or
Yes.
something, why would you go to a state on vacation that you know when you come back you have to self-quarantine for 2 weeks?
Because they can't self-quarantine you. You can't. They can't. Like if I went to visit my friend in Delaware this week, that's
Right.
one of the states. They wouldn't know I went there, and they wouldn't know if I self-quarantined or not. It's on the honor system, which there is no honor. There really isn't. The honor's gone. Honor's been
Well, that's
gone
why
for
I
a while.
asked, because why would you go to a state that you know you're supposed to...
Because you think that everything's going to be fine. She told me she can't believe what it's like down there because, it's just another situation where she walked into a place and they didn't have masks and she walked back out. She also did that somewhere in Lebanon County. She went to a restaurant she loved, and like all the waiters and waitresses were wearing their masks down, but their nose was exposed. Well, what's the point?
Okay.
So she'll never go back there again. In fact, she didn't eat there because she's realized that it's just It's just crazy. I mentioned this earlier. More than 50 hospitals have run out of ICU beds as the coronavirus soars. If you don't believe it's real, take a look at the hospitals. It's real. This is real. You know, if my brother were alive today, he probably would be one of the ones that didn't believe it.
Probably.
Because he's too cool to wear a mask. You know, I don't know what the deal is with these people. I would be afraid for myself. That's why I'm staying home all the time. I'm afraid to go out. I need to go out and do like grocery shopping, and I don't really want to go. I'm kind of like...
Haven't you tried the delivery yet?
I should. I keep telling myself I'm going to do it. I even started a list. I started a list again yesterday, or the other day before I started working on that stupid documentary. Anyway, but if the Florida hospitals are that bad, and we found out Texas hospitals are that bad, that's a big clue that this thing's real.
Yeah.
You know, I have not had anybody die that's near me, but my friend had a couple people die of the corona that are friends of hers.
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
That's strange, because we're probably the only two people that don't know anybody that died of it.
Well, somebody asked me if that was the reason my dad died, which thankfully it wasn't.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, I know people that have been tested multiple times for it. Thankfully, they've all come back negative. But you think about the ones that are coming back positive.
Right.
Or are they a false positive?
Right.
Because I've read stories where, you know, they're saying, like, people will get phone calls saying they tested positive but were never tested. You know, I mean,
well, here's
just so much.
Kentucky couple on house arrest after the wife tests positive for coronavirus, but she refuses to sign a quarantine order.
Wow.
I mean, I don't even know what to think of that. If you test positive, why wouldn't you? You know, it's not like you don't know that it's real or not because you got it, and she won't sign the order.
Well, I've also read somewhere where an article said that it could be just a common cold that causes one of those false positives.
But all they got to do is stay home for 2 weeks and see if it makes a difference. But they refuse to do that.
Yeah.
Here we go. It says here, Elizabeth Lynn Scott and her husband displayed their ankle monitors. Lynn Scott told the station after testing positive for coronavirus and later refusing to sign the self-isolation and controlled movement agreement, the sheriff's department arrived with stay-at-home orders. And for her, Isaiah, and their infant daughter. They're not even worried about their infant daughter, who could be one of the ones that dies. And so I opened up the door, and there's like 8 different people, 5 different cars. I'm like, what the heck's going on? The guy in a suit with a mask, it's the health department guy. He has 3 different papers for us to sign. The ankle monitor for the couple was ordered to wear will alert law enforcement if they travel more than 200 feet from their house.
Wow.
Elizabeth said she got tested for COVID so she could go see her parents with less worry. She tested positive without symptoms. She and the local health department asked her to sign documents that would stop her from traveling anywhere without calling the department first. She said she chose not to sign documents because if I have to go to the ER, I have to go to the hospital. I'm not going to wait for approval to go. The couple said they did not refuse to self-quarantine and had planned to do so. I don't know that I believe that, but okay. That's exactly what the director of public health department told the judge, that I was refusing to self-quarantine because of this, and that was not the case. I never said that. We did not rob a store. We didn't steal something. We didn't hit and run. We didn't do anything wrong.
It's his, you know.
But we don't know. We really, I mean, you can write
You can say
anything you
that,
want.
but really.
I don't know. I think they got cocky. I think they said, well, I don't have to do that. I think they said that. And whether they believed it or not, whether they believed they were going to do that or not, they were taken seriously and they were ankle monitored. What's wrong with ankle? See, if you're not going to do anything wrong, so what? Leave the ankle monitor on. Everybody's happy. You know, they probably should have been a little more careful what they said. So that's what happens when you mess around with a pandemic.
They fought the law, and the law won.
The law definitely won. Because if they leave, they're in trouble without telling anybody. So they should have just, the thing is, people today get this attitude that they're more important than other people. And that's what it comes down to. Everyone thinks they're more important than the next person. They're not more important than me. No one is more important than me. This one is weird. This California teen, who seemed to be recovering from corona, died in self-isolation despite testing negative for the virus. Wow. So he was recovering for the virus. He tested negative for the virus, and he died. Now,
was it self-inflicted?
We don't. Well, not on the surface, I don't believe.
Okay.
Let me read the rest here. There was something else that it says here. 13-year-old died. The family told the TV that the teenager seemed to recover from symptoms before he died in his bedroom. An autopsy will be determined if he died of the virus, but they think there was something else involved. The 13-year-old California teen who died said he tested negative for the virus. The teenager was experiencing nausea, vomiting, chest pains, and I think they said that. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I thought they thought that he killed himself, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I read that wrong, I guess. Anyway, it's kind of weird when you think of a 13-year-old dying of this.
Wow.
But the kid stayed in his room and maybe should have been, monitored. I don't know. Good parenting, I would think.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I don't want to be the one that says good parenting, bad parenting. What do you think if there is a vaccine? Would you think it should be free? I do.
Yeah.
This is a nationwide thing. We want everybody to be clean. We want everybody to be tested. We don't want anybody to give an excuse, well, I didn't get tested because I couldn't afford it. So I really, truly believe...
I mean, they're doing flu shots and pneumonia shots and stuff like that, so why not?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with that. For something like this, definitely, because it's such an epidemic that we want everybody to be tested. And I read somewhere that there is a vaccination that has side effects that they're trying to alter to make it so that, and plus the stupid drug companies make so much money off of us already. Make them pony up and give it to us for free. So I guess this is it, huh? I didn't get through half the stuff I had. I thought I was going to have a shortage. Looks like I didn't have a shortage. So all right, well, darn. Okay, well, I guess if I did 4 shows a week or 5 shows a week, it wouldn't be that way. All right, well, I guess it's time to go. Thank you for listening to the show. I hope you had a good time. And as always, remember that we really appreciate you listening, and talk to you next week. So.